Unless this is
All right, this is the beginning. Oh, it just came in time. Painkiller already, episode 204, the Halloween edition.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. So Taylor,
what
who are
is
you?
everyone? Yeah, let's. What is everyone dressed as?
Taylor, you are?
I'm a spooky skeleton.
All right. Kitty, you are?
5 years' time after having to deal with that on the other screen.
It's awesome.
Maybe next year.
Kyle is a cloud. I can't see him at all.
I am James Tiberius Kirk, captain of the USS Enterprise, serial number 1701.
Turn the settings down on your smoke machine. That's
This is the lowest setting.
I'm Clark
meant
Kent.
for like stages then, not for
the
you to
one
set
for
at your feet.
This is the one for interiors. The exterior setting was much worse.
Oh Jesus, dude.
I want to see the exterior setting now.
I'm just
And
joking.
Kyle, what's the explanation of the pairing between the smoke machine and Captain Kirk?
Well, I like to buy little props for the show, and like the potato gun, and I bought that bow. I got that bow and arrow. That's partially for this, and what else have I got? The helium tanks and stuff like that. So when I saw Fog Machine, I was actually going through like the Halloween section of Amazon, and I saw fog machines, and I was like, yes, I need a fog machine. And I was thinking maybe I could use this in some Russia videos too. Maybe get some fog going, do some nighttime stuff. That'd be fun with some lights. So I bought myself a fog machine to deal with it.
There you go. Make a good use of the Patreon money.
That's I am making good use of the Patreon money. Taylor, I will say I like your costume. Very high effort. Woody, yours is classic. I love yours. I will say that I think if Merker were wearing it, it would be even more fitting because he kind of has that Superman hairdo from time to time.
He does.
But,
yeah. I had a hard time pulling it off. It actually took me a
Make
little
a good
while.
Clark Kent though. You got it going on.
Yeah.
I see. I just noticed your hair. I just noticed the little doo-wop hair thing. Okay, I changed my mind. You pulled that off. That's good.
All
Now,
right.
if you went as far as like getting a small hair extension and then breaking it down, then,
You know, I had been I'd been mulling over getting it cut, and I lengthened it just for the show. I skipped the haircut. This is as long as my hair gets, and kept it going.
Grandma Sandy, I've got to say, that's you really like I saw you earlier like that. It's really disturbing. The glasses I think really set it off
Do
nicely.
you like the haircut, love? Do you think it's good?
Oh, it's great. You strike me as a Mabel.
I got a nice little blue rinse down at the salon.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. Totally works.
It's good.
But yeah, totally a fun use of the Patreon money, keeping my basement smoked out. And I think I'm gonna get some more props for PKN. Like I think I'm gonna do a thing on PKN where we get some like real guns involved. I don't know where we'll do it, but like I think it'd be fun to do some like actual like stuff on PKN. So for $10 a month, if you want to join the Patreon, you get video access to the PKN. That's a whole new thing we added, and I got some cool ideas to make it more interesting. I just gotta make them happen, like my fog machine. God damn it!
And then on that note, so another thing that Patreon members get is early access to PKA. And it's especially early this week. It's Tuesday as we record this. I don't know if we're going to make it available on Tuesday or Wednesday or what we're going to do. But you guys get early access to PKA before the Saturday go live on my YouTube channel. So thank you, Patreon members. We love you. We appreciate you.
Yes, of course. Should I keep these candles? Do they add to a spooky aesthetic, or are they
Please keep
irritating?
Yeah,
I think you
no,
should
please
keep
keep
them.
the candles.
Yeah.
Your lady friend made that happen for you?
Yes, she did it. I was not capable of doing this myself.
Well, good on her. That's pretty damn good. We appreciate. God damn it! Where's the
I have.
switch at?
You
Only
can't
took me
even
like 25 minutes, half an hour.
I think at this point, Kyle could say the most serious shit in the world, but everyone would still be cracking up just because of the
Goddamn smoke.
I have a candle here. You probably can't see it. And up here, I have a spider web. So we really went all out here at the Woodworth house.
Looks like you made your costume on the way into the basement. Like, oh fuck, what day is it?
I like it. I like that costume. I've seen that done before, and I like it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does look good.
It beat out Businessman in the Wind. That was another one that was on our list of possible costumes. But
You could have gotten like a Ray Rice jersey and drug a blow-up doll around.
That's kind
I
of.
went to
that's kind of
Walmart.
trite. by now. Everybody's doing that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that post. It's creepy. I don't like it.
Did we have a first topic, or do you want me to bring in PwnStar.com?
I have several topics. Let's see. Do you want to talk about the Gulf oil spill? That's uplifting. Do you want to talk about some extreme porn, or do you want to talk about deadly pufferfish dinner paralyzing people?
I'd like to hear about idiots eating venomous animals.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
All right, tell us about idiots eating venomous animals.
Okay, so let's see here. Here's the title of the article here. Family supper of deadly pufferfish leaves 11 paralyzed and fighting for life. 11 members of the same family were seriously ill today after unwittingly cooking up the world's deadliest fish for their supper. The Souza family from Rio de Janeiro in Brazil fried and served up a pufferfish they had been given by a friend who had returned from a day's sea fishing.
A friend.
The pufferfish contained a toxin 1,200 times more lethal than cyanide, a drop of which can kill within 24 hours. Seconds after taking their first bite, all began to vomit. Before losing the feeling... Seconds after taking their first bite.
Wait, did they all eat in unison? Because otherwise, you would think
family dinner. Like
one person would eat it, vomit.
I
uncontrollably.
Here's how I picture it going down. Right, this is how they eat in unison. They all bow their heads. They pray. They thank God for their food, and then they take their first bite. 10 seconds later, they're all vomiting.
It's funny to picture them sitting around like, I don't want to try it, Dad. We're having a family try new things evening. Come on. Everybody at the same time. Everybody at the same time.
How sun-blistered Larry was. He fished all day for your dinner.
Yeah.
So seconds after they took their first bites, they all began to vomit, shortly before losing the feeling in their face, arms, and legs. Most of the victims, which include 4 children aged 3 to 5, were totally paralyzed before they could reach a car that could get them to a hospital. It looks like Christina Souza, whose husband Jose Augusto, aged 41, ate the fish, said she had called her extended family living nearby for what she thought would be a delicious fish feast on Wednesday evening. She told Brazil's RJTV, quote, "The fish looked so nasty." Oh, excuse me. I said I could see the fish, and in my head it made me say nasty because I'll give you a link, and it looks disgusting. The fish looked so tasty, so we invited the whole family. We fried it, and everyone tucked in. My husband was the first to say he couldn't feel his tongue, then his face, then his arms, then his legs went dead, and he couldn't stand anymore. It was terrifying.
Give me another bite of that. I can't feed myself. I think it's just another minor stroke.
I'm loving Marcus' costume.
My brother-in-law was the same. He didn't make it out. He didn't even make it out the door. We had to carry them and rush them to the hospital in a car. Wow, this is awful. Let me get you a link here so you can see just how disgusting this thing that she thought looked quite tasty is. It looks awful, and I like sushi.
You can't have known it was like a pufferfish because everybody knows of those things.
Yeah.
I know what they look like. I didn't know you couldn't eat a pufferfish.
Yeah, that's like
It has to be prepped completely, like properly, to not kill you.
They actually say. The grandmother said, "quote We had no idea it was pufferfish. They're all in end quote. They're all in critical condition. My grandson, my granddaughter, my son-in-law, they are all in the hospital. We're praying for a miracle."
That fish looks like
could this
a
kill 'em all?
condom full of sand that someone is just hanging. Just look at the nasty shape of that. If you just packed a condom with sand and just let it hang.
It's disgusting.
It doesn't even look like it has a shape. It's just an amorphous blob.
All
Who would
food
eat
looks disgusting to me.
Really? All food looks
for
disgusting?
example, like I was looking at venison lately, right? And I almost forget how close my food is to a live animal sometimes. Like you see like steak or something, but it just chopped off a skinned cow, which is a cow. Like I'm only 2 steps away from the thing being an animal, and it's kind of gross when I think about that. When I realize that, like, if you just kill a chicken, rip its skin off, that's the thing that I eat. They're all kind of gross to me. You guys don't see it? I mean, I do it because I eat, but...
Okay, so I see your point, but I came to that because I've hunted and then eaten what I've hunted, and also, like, grew up around a farm, so like there was a time when like shot a cow and then had it butchered and we ate it. So I've went full transition from like Ralph the cow to Ralph the steak, and like I've done the whole thing. So I don't feel bad about it, and I don't feel grossed out by the idea of eating the flesh of another little being, like doves, for example. Like Mirka, have you ever eaten doves?
Yeah, I've dove hunted before, and you just like pop it out like that alien creature from the movie Alien. Like you just pop their breasts out.
Yeah, like the dove is so like tender. I guess. Yeah, you literally rip its like chest out of its body with your fingers. Takes
no time at all.
And you grab the skin like close to its butthole, and you can just rip it completely off. And then you reach in and like grab its breast meat, which is basically its pec muscles, the ones that make its wings flap, and you just rip those the fuck out, and you got it. You just throw the rest away, and you know.
These are things that I know intellectually, but I don't often like think about where my food comes from. And I think there's a lot of people like me. There's people who are just like, yes, I like burgers, I like chicken, I like this and that. But they don't really think about where food comes from. And as a matter of fact, if you showed them, I saw on Reddit, this guy showed his butchering process, and there was a cow hanging by its rear feet as he started like slicing a cow up into like little pieces that people would eat. Like, let's chop this off, and then start carving it apart. And it looks barbaric and mean and like not safe for work, and like it looks like this guy is a terrible like he's one of the people in hell who tortured Sam and Dean, who are the people from Supernatural.
Nice double name.
Did I mess them both up?
Double name win. No, you got them.
Yeah, bitch. So so I'm excited. Anyway.
Oh, do you know the last name though?
Don't ruin this for him.
Just give him his win.
It's Winchester. All right. So anyway, they torture him in hell and they slice him up. It's like he's that guy, but then you realize, like, you know what? Like, I am absolutely a part of the process that makes that happen routinely, and you can deny where your food comes from, but it still comes from there.
Yeah, I've seen the full process with chickens.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the full process with cows, and that's pretty much all I eat. Like I don't do lamb chops. I don't eat a lot of veal. I know that's
you're missing out.
I've had it, but I'm just not a big fan of it. I'd rather have a filet mignon with I'd rather have filet mignon.
When I was a kid, veal was normal. Like when I when I was a little kid, veal didn't have the same like connotation. Now it's mean, right? Like there's grazed cows who go out and they do their little cowy things, and then when they're ready to be eaten, they're eaten, and that's the thing. But then there's veal who are locked in a box and not allowed to turn and not let their muscles develop, so they're especially tender.
That's not actually true. My grandpa's a cattle farmer. It's just by age that it's regulated, not by how much they move and things like that. I was under that impression as well until I asked him recently.
Well, the good veal is made that way. That's the thing. It's like
it's illegal here though.
I wonder if what I said maybe was true in the 80s or something. Like, I'm not sure. Or maybe it was just always wrong and not actually true.
I was under the understanding that it still went on today, and that's why I rarely get it. But I've had it before, and I remember one time. I remember this specifically. Kitty, remember when we were with the Dagninos at dinner that first night, and I ate everybody's food?
Yep.
I literally ate like 3 meals.
Had like 3 or 4 main courses. I think it was.
I really did. Like the food was really good there, and they were buying me drinks, and when I drink, I can eat a lot, and I literally ate all of my food and like finished off 2 or 3 other people's food too, and then had desserts and appetizers. But I ate Paul's the dad, whatever his name is.
Ray.
Ray. I ate Ray's veal. I finished it off, and it was so fucking good. It was so good.
But
that was super common in the 80s. That's what I was starting to say. Was when I was a kid, we ate that all the time, and fur was common too. Like it was not a big deal. And then somewhere along the way, fur and veal became do not do. Leather, steak, burgers, that's all okay even now. But veal and fur just became not okay.
Yeah. I can even understand not eating veal to an extent.
Yeah.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, I prefer steak anyway. Not even a moral stance, just I'd rather have filet than any other cut of any kind of meat.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
It's really good.
I can't eat veal. I can't get past how it's...
I mean, so I don't care that it's a baby cow because at some point I came to this realization, or at least this justification in my own brain that like, wait, what makes the baby deer any more innocent or special than the adult deer who's lived a full life? It's really just a life of eating shit out in the woods, right?
Yeah.
Like so there's the baby isn't any more innocent than the big deer. That's not to say I'm going to massacre some baby deer. I don't have any reason to do such a thing. But I wouldn't, if the thing was like, yeah, they're baby deer, you get $500 every one you kill, I'd go shoot a bunch of baby deer because
So let me
I'd
ask
look
this, Kyle.
at their eyes and strangle them for $500.
If there was a deer in your backyard, do you like, hey, you know what? There's a lot of free food right there.
I'm going to go deer hunting soon.
But that's proper deer hunting. I mean, would you just point a gun? I know where your yard is. You could shoot something.
I'm in city limits there.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't shoot here. Yeah.
It's awesome.
But in the past, yeah, I totally shoot. That's how the biggest deer I ever shot, the biggest buck I ever shot was in the backyard. Like I saw it in the field, ran out in the backyard, and like went down on a knee and shot it a couple hundred yards.
My new home, not in city limits. I'm very excited about that. You can
Nice.
go further away and be in city limits, and of course you can go closer and be in city limits. But my land, not in city limits. No city taxes, no city rules. Very
That's
You're
nice.
off the grid.
You should check to see if there's any noise ordinances in that county.
I'm sure there's noise ordinances in the county, but
There's no noise ordinance in my county.
Oh, I should look into that. I would love it if there were no noise ordinance. I do know that the sellers, I house talk, but I changed the topic, but the sellers started a giant fire once, and they came out to check on them, which disappointed me. I want to be able to, I want to be not cared about enough that fires and gunshots and stuff like that is like no one takes notice.
In my county, you have to call and get a fire permit if you're going to be burning at certain points in the year. And if you do that, then it wouldn't be an issue. You just call ahead.
Maybe my expectations out of whack, because all they said was, all we want is a heads up so that we know if anyone calls about a fire that we can ignore it. Or
I made that permit sound a lot harder to get than it actually is. It is a phone call. It's literally, it's like permission. It's just what I should have said.
Oh,
But they call it a permit.
wow! So I'm excited. I'm gonna possibly have like Kyle level freedom.
Yeah, you can burn stuff, you can blow stuff up, shoot stuff. It's gonna be great.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Jackie's gonna be so happy.
If you want to make Molotov cocktails in your backyard, you can go right at it.
I texted Jackie like 10 minutes ago and said I wanted her to bake me cookies and deliver them in costume. I wonder. She wrote back and said that I suck, but she didn't say no.
Oh, she's totally doing that.
She's totally doing it. I thought you would smell the scent of freshly baked cookies.
I hope it happens.
What costume do you have?
What I predict the Wonder Woman costume will be brought out again, but we'll see how this goes down.
Excellent.
So
Nice.
yeah.
If only Wings were here to be like, why don't you get Hope to dress up too, Woody? Maybe she could bring you some milk. He would find the ultimate awkward moment there at that moment.
No.
She has a I think she can dress up as Elsa. You know, the Disney princess. That would be not slutty and it's still a costume.
That's just the only goal?
Pretty much. That's
staying in the
all.
costume.
I mean, it's, at this point, that's all I'm asking for. you know. Although I do think, if you're not my kid and you're 18, be slutty for Halloween. Just do it. Go all out. Be horrid. You're not going to look like that forever, kid. Live it up right now. You're 18. You got maybe 8 good years left, and then then it's time for you to put on something a little more. So, 18-year-old sluts out there, strut your stuff. That's my advice.
I like how
goodness.
visibly and uncomfortable you got with yourself, like 2/3 of the way through that, and you're like, "Well, I'm in deep. I got to forge it."
And I refuse to bail you out.
No one's coming. I'm all alone on this one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Woody. Tell us more.
Yeah.
What do you like them to dress up as? Like cartoon
Oh, it
characters
doesn't
and
matter.
such?
You can be slutty nurse, slutty Star Trek character,
schoolgirl.
slutty farm animal, slutty pool cleaner, slutty
Wait.
Slutty farm animal.
I saw there was a slutty Stephen Colbert.
Don't judge me. Slutty Stephen Colbert, I'll dig it. French maid. Slutty witch. I don't know. Slutty almost anything works.
Slutty anything works, really.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. There's a lot. I like Halloween, but I feel like there aren't enough cool costumes for big women. I'd like it if they took advantage of the size of large people. Like
Stay Puft Marshmallow Woman.
There you go.
Yeah.
Michelin Man, giant pumpkin. Oh, here's what I would do. Like if I were a large girl, you've probably got some skinny friends. So here's what you do. You get your hot friend to dress up like Cinderella, you dress up like the pumpkin coach, and then you like carry her around. It'd be hilarious.
Or the hot friend dresses up like the princess from Shrek, and the big one can be Shrek.
Oh, yeah, that would work too.
That's a good one.
I like it.
Talking about costumes, did you see that Walmart website was selling fat girl costumes?
Somebody wanted to get fired. That's totally what that was.
Yeah, that's totally what happened.
Wait, what happened?
Can you pull it up, Woody? Let me get you a link.
I can hunt for it.
So basically, the Walmart website, I think it was Walmart or was it the UK equivalent, Asda, where they were selling costumes, and then instead of plus size, they'd written it as fat girl.
Fat girl costumes. And then above that, they had attached a Halloween banner, and it said something like, make it an extra large Halloween or something like that. It was like a fat joke, like built into that. It was totally somebody like the Reddit comments seemed to think that just wanted to get fired and was like giving him a fuck you on his way out.
All right. So it's fat girl costumes is there. It was right in there in the URL. I do love that there's a ranch recipe like ad on the image, like they're selling that, and that's all I'm finding for images.
I think that was it. I think that was the only image. That was it.
Does it have pictures of the costumes they have marketed as
Yeah,
fat girl?
they did, but it wasn't anything like it was just plus size costumes.
Yeah, although I will say these are not plus size models in the costumes.
No, they never
Some are actually. As I look
Well,
more.
they're a little curvy.
No, well, some of them are just flat out.
Isn't like a plus size model like a size 6 to 8 in the US?
Yeah.
Like, I think plus size models are literally size 6 to 8.
I hear you, and I know what a plus size model looks like, and some of these women are just smoking hot and skinny and not plus sized by any even twisted model definition.
I always picture plus size as like those women in the Dove commercials where they're naked and a little too happy with their type 2 diabetes and just rubbing up against one another like...
I've missed you, Merca.
Missed you too, Kitty.
Here's an example. This is one of the she's just hot. She's not plus size model.
Let's see what you got here. Let's look at these fat ladies. All right, so this girl.
It's got a nice rack.
No, I don't think she's. I don't think she's. I mean, look at her. Her thighs are thin.
Not,
her waist isn't like emaciated, but it's skinny.
This is a plus size model.
Not at all. I don't know, unless that's like trick
link.
photography.
Size 4 to 6. There's also an option for size 18 to 20 plus. How big is that?
That's big.
Look at the Thor girl sassy chick. She's hot.
Okay, Thor girl sassy chick.
I got it.
Sassy is like urban. It's just as urban is code for Negro. Sassy is code for fat chick.
Is it?
I've actually picked that up too. Or they're fierce and sassy.
If I said, oh yeah, she's sassy and she's got a lot of soul. What did you just picture? A skinny blonde chick?
Yeah, all right.
Soul, yeah, for sure. Now, where's the Thor girl?
Bottom right of the customers also considered.
Yeah, I got your link here.
That would help me. I'm struggling.
But I don't think any of these women are plus sized.
Oh yeah,
No,
that Thor
absolutely
woman, she's just fine.
I want to see
I'm looking at
of the plus size person modeling it.
I mean, Robin is just skinny. Like this chick is really thin. This doesn't make any sense. Walmart is evil. There you go.
Plus size breasts.
Yeah, those are big fake titties.
Those are quite some breasts.
But she's definitely not plus size. Walmart are assholes. That probably explains this. I'm glad somebody fucked with them.
Yeah, they had like no Halloween costumes left today, apart from dog ones. So Muppet is a pumpkin.
Oh, please show Muppet in a pumpkin outfit.
Yeah, get the dog in there.
Oh, it's just like a sweater that's a pumpkin. Muppet, come here.
Is he dressed in it right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hang on.
Where,
Let me grab
is he
it.
coming? Oh, this is awesome.
It's a she.
Oh, I said this is awesome.
Now, for everybody listening on the way to work or to school, we're looking at a dog.
She's not impressed.
Excellent radio.
They made me into a pumpkin. I'll walk it.
That is awesome. It's better than I expected when you said it was just a sweater. Nah. And I like how the dog is like not looking at the
Not
camera.
Yeah, she won't make eye contact. She refuses. No.
It's like,
Now what's
Buckle.
Dax? Just a killer?
he's a skeleton, but he's not. He's outside, so he's dreaming about fighting Kyle right now.
He's out. Yeah, he's outside doing push-ups right now, getting ready for me.
He doesn't like you.
He's getting ready.
Cocksucker! I'll get free one day. Just pumping iron.
He hates
He's got a
you.
chain. He's got a chain and a toy attached to it, and the chain's attached to the tree, and he just pulls on it all day, and the tree's just rocking. He's like Jean-Claude Van Damme in that movie, just kicking the bamboo post over and over, training.
What kind of
Thinking
dog is
his
this?
Brother. He's a fucking Belgian Malinois, fucking attack dog.
He didn't like me much either. I could get him to warm up to me and put his head on my lap and stuff, but there was always that like uncertainty. Like, you know what? I'm doing this now for you, but this thing you and I have, this is a weak bond, my friend, and I will kill you the second you fuck
He
up.
just hates anything, like anyone around Kyle. He hates Kyle. It's hilarious.
And
Why does he hate you so much? Did
Is
you
he fixed?
blow something next to its head or something?
No, I had a couple of bad experiences with him where like he'd like freak out when he was on a leash or freak out when we were trying to get
Your
him.
other hand, and what were you swinging around with that hand at the time when he first freaked out?
I tried to cut down a weed with a what do you call it? A
Katana?
A katana.
So you were waving a sharp, shiny object around an unfamiliar guard dog?
Well, it was dark, so I figured he couldn't see so good, so it wouldn't matter. Yeah, I was holding the dog on a leash in one hand, and I had like 10 feet of leash, and I had the katana in the other, and I'm waiting on him to pee, and there's some I was at my mailbox, and there were some weeds there. They were pretty tall. They're like 4 feet tall, and I was like, aha, a use for my new katana. And I swung and chopped the weeds down. He freaked the fuck out and wrapped around the mailbox one full revolution, and then kept pulling. And if you can imagine that, the leash is around the mailbox post, in the middle. So I'm pulling on one end, and he's pulling on the other, and we pull the fucking mailbox out of the ground. So now the mailbox just fell over, and the fucking dog's running everywhere, and he's trying to get out of his harness. And keep in mind, it's a full shoulder harness. He pulled his way out of it and escaped into the night for 3 days or something. He's a real piece of shit dog. I wish he
Wait,
just
you had him less than a week, and you're waving a giant sword around,
Not a
hacking
big
shit
sword.
up.
If it'd been a broadsword, I could have understood.
All it was a katana.
It was just a katana.
So yeah, he wonders why Dak hates him.
That was
seems like you would be
I
a
grew up
stressful
with dogs. My dad's got dogs. I had a Labrador. I'm telling you, I've punished the Labrador. I've spanked it before, when it would run off to the neighbors or something or do something wrong. And we still were the best of friends. I loved that dog and he loved me. And he wouldn't care if I scared him one time with a katana because that was my buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Max was my buddy. He wouldn't care about. I could have cut off Max's leg with that fucking katana. He would have still put his head in my lap. He loved me unconditionally because that's how good dogs are. This motherfucker's got personality. I got no time for animals with personality.
Dak loves you too. He dreams about you being served up like a fucking raw steak every day.
It's so bad that when I walk out the door and he sees me, he immediately starts barking aggressive, and he's up on his
He's puffed up.
and you see the muscles flexing under his skin. He's fucking.
Meanwhile, with me, he rolls over for belly rubs. He kind of licks my hand to wake me up in the morning.
Yeah, but you probably don't swing weapons around the dog as
No,
often.
because I'm not
That was
stupid.
2 years ago. 2 fucking years ago. He's still holding that against me? Fuck him. Fuck him.
We haven't really made any effort.
You guys ready to bring in the guest?
I throw in some hamburgers in there every now and then.
And he
Yeah,
takes
screw it.
them.
I'm bringing in
Well,
like it or
yeah.
not. All right.
I want to talk about this Gulf oil spill at some point.
There's another one?
No, it's the same one, but it's funny that the BP executives are trying to say that the oil they found down there on the ocean floor wasn't them. They're trying to make the scientists prove that the oil came from their oil spill and didn't just miraculously get there. It's a huge amount of oil on the bottom of the ocean, and BP's literally saying, "How you know that's our oil?" But
No, British Petroleum.
maybe that was your oil. Maybe you lost it there. I don't know. I don't keep up with oil. That's not what I do. I pump it. I pump the oil. Like, they're just real scumbags about the whole thing.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Pretty funny though. If they get away with it, that's a
Oh God. They're gonna
real
have
shitty thing.
chemical composition. They're gonna test the. They're literally gonna test the oil and compare it to BP oil and prove that it was their oil at some point. I guess. You there, Pawn
How
Star?
are you guys doing?
Oh, all right.
What's up?
Surprise.
I am a big fan of yours. I was just telling them earlier. I was like, so is that the Pawn Star guy who's like really good at pub stomping? Like, he's like the best in the fucking world. Is that the guy who goes like 50-0 and just has that crazy shot and like goes and streams and does it consistently? And they're like, yep, and yep. And I'm like, oh.
You're making me blush, man.
Like, I'm subscribed to that guy. I like those videos. They're great.
Good deal. That's what's up. So how you guys doing today?
We're good, man. We're
So
good.
Do you have a costume on that
I'll
you
show
can
you
film
guys
us?
something really quick. Hold on. It's so hard to breathe in this thing, though.
Wait, you don't have a camera on?
Hold on. I gotta turn it on.
Oh,
It's a big reveal.
Oh, is
Woody.
this a reveal?
The big reveal. All right, all right.
Gonna be in a neon gimp suit.
I hope.
I'm trying to figure out how to activate the camera on this thing.
I considered getting one of those Gimp suits. I'm such a big Pulp Fiction fan that I've always thought that would be cool to have around because it's just the creepiest thing ever.
If
Oh,
you
that's
need a
why.
ball gag, just let me know.
And you will dual purpose, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I did some thinking into why the.
Oh my god.
Oh shit!
There it is. I was
have to
wondering what
wear-
you're gonna do because you don't show your face. Now I know.
One of the things of me, I don't show my face at all. I like my privacy. And
I
it's so
can-
hard talking anything.
I can get that.
I could dig it.
Yeah, well, you know,
So
once
I
you
was-
give up your privacy, you can't get it back. Like, you know, once it's out there, it stays out there. It's a permanent
Especially on
thing.
the internet.
Yeah, that's just how it works.
Are you
So-
vaping right now, Kyle?
Yeah, it's getting really crazy in here.
I didn't know you vaped.
No,
He
you
literally-
really think that's what it is?
There was like someone cheating over there.
Yeah,
no,
I've got the
he's
best-
got
I've
9
got a
people
400
vaping under the
I've got a
camera.
400-watt vaporizer. That's what that is.
He has a fog machine for Halloween.
Like, this is a vaporizer.
Yeah, I was about to say, I didn't see anything go in his mouth. And I said,
That's not mine.
what?
Kyle's is like,
What if you did pour like a whole bottle of nicotine down in that thing, like the stuff they use in the vape pens, and just ran it through the fucking fog machine? That'd be crazy.
Seems like an awful idea. You just
That would
pass
not
out the
be
nicotine.
I don't get the whole vaping thing. Like Taylor was telling me, like, hey, you know, it's you know, there's nicotine in here, and it like
there's
makes
no
you
nicotine in it.
feel active or something. Well, maybe not in yours. And I always thought cigarettes were something people like almost sort of accidentally did. Like they were just trying to look cool when they were teenagers, and they, you know, got sucked into it, and now they're in their 20s and they're like, well, crap, it's hard to stop. It sucks me back in. I feel incomplete without it, or whatever the addiction like does to you. And but something about the vaping and e-cigs and stuff, like people are very intentionally making this choice to just like do nicotine.
The tobacco companies are actually upset with the vapes because they're losing money on it, obviously. And a lot of people are quitting because of it.
One misconception I think you have there, Woody, is that they all have nicotine in them. Some of
This
them
has
are.
no nicotine.
Yeah, some of them you can get without.
Yeah, one
So-
big thing
and-
is people like to get it just for the flavor.
So
Yes.
some people are just doing flavored mist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of people, like millions of them.
This is vanilla. This is peach. This is licorice.
Yeah. Licorice water vapor. Why would you do
Oh,
that
it's
to yourself?
awesome. It's like a Jaeger bomb, like in a vape.
I see his face. He's like, no.
They taste really good, and they come in like lots of crazy flavors. Like I've had Monster Energy drink before, and there's places where you can like mix and
Kyle.
I know.
Completely
Up
gone.
so that-
He's hotboxing so hard right now. It's just like
Kyle, when the fog is up, change costumes real quick.
Where's my spare at?
Jesus.
God
Can't
damn.
see
You should have been
anything.
doing this all the times that you were like not on PKA. You just had a ton of fog for every
That's how it should
episode.
have existed. Just
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, just like a monster in the mist.
There you go.
Oh. Yeah, that's cool. Not
So
a
you
very
guys were-
consistent flow.
explaining.
Well, I turned it off.
So you just it's total like almost like a sugar water type thing, just like licorice flavored air.
Kind of. It's like a glycerin. So it's like a vegetable glycerin, or it can be VG or PG, which are just two different types. And then it has my ones, for instance, they're all like they're organic flavorings and stuff like that. So.
Oh,
There's
And-
two types of people out there, though. There's cloud chasers, which like to blow really, really thick
Oh yeah.
cloud. And then there's people who like to do it just because of the taste
Mhm.
or the addiction.
They call them cloud chasers.
Yeah, they call
Oh
it cloud
man,
chasers.
some of
like
these
glass
vapes,
and
like you
water.
can turn it up and it's like Kyle's smoke machine. Like seriously,
Yes.
like there are people that walk around and they leave a trail of Kyle's basement behind them.
When I use one of those vapes, I like it to be super thick so that it's like a hit to your lungs that you
Yes.
feel it when you inhale it. Like I want it like that. Like hers is kind of like just for flavor, and I'm not into that so much. But when it's like a hit, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
You don't get a buzz or anything. You almost feel like you just like maybe did like a mouth spray of something or like
candy or like.
candy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of. I could see it being used as like an appetite thing. I'm surprised they haven't made one that isn't. I guess nicotine is a fucking appetite suppressant. Yeah, fat people start vaping.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add that to the FPS boot camp next time around. Vape it harder. He's gonna be.
No, and you just are berating him for not vaping adequately.
Next time
like
around, what are you saying,
straight-
Kyle?
Well, we got to do another FPS boot camp, right?
Really?
I still like the idea of me coming to your house and you get me down to like $1.20. Right? Terrible. Just awful and dangerously
camp.
painful.
Like emaciated. And...
Welcome to FPS boot camp, Auschwitz edition.
Nothing to do with me.
Merc is
Recommended.
just sitting there like shoveling coal for hours on end, eating rotten bread and mealworms.
I kind
Yeah.
of want to
Yeah.
see the new shower. Like I haven't seen it since Wings was there.
I don't.
What? A
Huh?
shower.
Oh, I don't understand what you mean.
You guys had to invest in a shower that would accommodate a bigger man.
Indeed.
And I wonder what it's like. Like, is it tiled on the side? Does it have two like shower heads?
It has one shower head. I've got the detachable one. I like that. And it's got glass doors, and it's tile on the side and tile on the floor. And
Should I
it's
just go
big.
take a picture as I'm right?
I if you
I'll
want
be
to,
down
whatever-
for that. Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's
1 second.
So was it one of those showers originally that was like a little square booth almost, like a telephone
yeah,
booth?
it was like the
Okay.
plastic insertable thing. It was a cheap shower, and I was in there, and I was showering, and I've got a pretty big wingspan here, so like my elbow banged against the wall, and I was like, fuck, that hurt, and it popped in my head. I was like, what if Wings were in here? And I was like, nah, this won't work. Wings can't get in here. So we upgraded showers to make that work. But I was thinking about doing not necessarily Wings in a boot camp, but I would entertain doing it for someone else that I was cool with, that I think it would be fun to do with. I think one of the reasons that I didn't enjoy the last half of the boot camp with Wings was
Can you show it again?
he didn't have the same passion for making videos that I did. And let's see what we got here. Let me make.
I don't know if we can, because of
Yeah.
the light.
Okay,
But-
it's kind of working. There's a toilet in your shower.
That's what I see too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the reflection on the glass.
Oh,
That's really
right.
funny.
No, you just have odd taste in decorating.
It's
It makes everything so
above-
much easier.
Yeah,
I have
Actually, that would be pretty great.
just a one-stop
shower,
shop.
Washing your hair, taking a shit, all at the same time, and the whole time water is just flowing from multiple heads. That's the.
It's like It's like a human service station, like a car wash.
It's all one dream. It's all one
That would be
dream.
the best.
Like the Jetsons. Imagine if there were an apparatus to do this, like the Jetsons. You know, like something comes in, it's like bing, like spinning, like in your mouth, and there's. You would need some.
That sounds really, really stressful. I was more talking about being able to shit in the shower while the water's on.
I brush my teeth in the shower.
That is within the realm of
You
possibility.
guys are gross. Like,
I mean-
absolutely gross.
You wouldn't want to do that?
Well, I mean, all you gotta do is stick a screwdriver in there with you. Take that little grate off there, and you got another toilet right there, my friend.
That's what I'm saying. That's right.
Yeah, that's what I do.
That's
Upper
true.
Decker.
One-stop shop.
Well, you don't give your
Poe.
own home an upper decker. That's,
I was about to say.
Poe,
man, I'm totally
But
gonna
on
be
that note,
pissed at myself.
I want to talk about the race.
All right, what's up?
Yeah, so, dude, there was some race controversy. Was that 1 year or 2 years ago? This is how I remember it, and you tell me how close I'm coming. Some guys at Twitch were going to do this thing called the race, and they were going to be the first people to 10th Prestige. And I forget who was on their team. I think Ernest Lee was one of the guys, but they had a team of 4 guys, and they were going to. What they do is they kind of go around the clock. Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Nice. I like it. We thought for sure you do the Wonder Woman thing. What are you? The maid?
Can you guess?
Maid?
No.
Mary Poppins.
Mary
Because
Poppins.
I'm practically perfect in every way.
You're off camera though. Well done.
Go. Go.
I went to that. I
Thank
went
you.
to the Mary Poppins musical. It was excellent.
Do I have? Not really.
Just the British person to spot
You
it.
didn't get it.
I'm sorry.
I was definitely thinking Mary Poppins when she came in.
But you
Well,
waited for me to say, like, because that's not stereotypical in any way.
oh, so I was telling the race thing. So
race.
they were doing this race. They were going to be the first person 10th Prestige. And what they do is they have like 4 people or more or less, and they work to get one gamer tag to 10th Prestige. So they like work in shifts and they sleep and stuff like that. And if I remember, there was the Twitch crew doing it. I think the Optic crew was doing it. You, Trademark. Who else was it? Ron. Who was on
Nah,
your
it was
team?
it was just 2 of us.
You and
believe
Trademark?
it or not, against like 4 or 5 Optic members and 5 people on hashtag and complexity, and it was hard pulling those 12-hour shifts per.
And you beat everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they smashed everybody, even the Optic guys. Very, very strong pro team. And then they started saying like, well, not really a race. You named it the race, right?
Yeah, that was Twitch who came to hashtag the race who did that. So you're right. Hashtag the race. The actual channel name is from Twitch with Ernest Lee and whoever he decides to pick up, and that was one of their reasons halfway through was it's not a race, but it's hashtag the race, a contradiction.
Yeah,
So,
I was like,
yeah.
you can't just say we're not racing anymore because you're losing.
Yeah.
They were going to be
did
the
you just turn
first to
into a
10th
priest?
Prestige. What's that?
Kyle, like you just changed with all that fog.
What are you talking about? He's been wearing that the whole time.
What do you mean?
I just noticed it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So
I hope-
yeah, so it's when they realized they couldn't win, all of a sudden the race wasn't a race anymore, and it was just a fun activity, and they didn't truly lose or.
Isn't that
Yeah.
always really convenient? Like, oh, I wasn't playing anyway, so I'm not. I have nothing to lose.
I'm
You're
not
the one
trying. I didn't
Yeah.
lose because if I tried, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah.
Because Trademark actually, he was with I think a guy named Skaith in Wicked Elite, and him and Trademark did Black Ops 2, and the race was very, very mysterious as far as the start times and whatnot, and they wouldn't be very clear because they would have more insight on an embargo lift to be able to live stream it than any of us would.
Mhm.
And they raced in Black Ops 2, and they hated on Trademark just for the simple fact that he didn't have a start time. He just started when he got the game, and he was number 1 on the list, and they didn't like that. But they were very competitive at that time as well. But now on Ghost, they say it's not a race, and I was very confused halfway through, but we just went on with it. Optic was actually the closest team with us during that whole run.
Right, and then
I guess their power went out or they got swatted.
you
I don't
guys
know.
would go neck and neck, and then at some point they're just like, we quit. You know, we're getting DDoSed or something, and they didn't want to play anymore.
Yep.
So it's my opinion that the best competitive players in the world are the best competitive players in the world, and the best pub stompers in the world are better at pub stomping than the comp players.
Yes, they're two different playing fields, and I try to tell a lot of people that. And you can't put a pro player in a pub scenario and vice versa, because you know you spent more time in one area than the other, and you can't do both very, very well.
Yeah. It's not that you can't do it. It's that it's two very different things. If you're playing on a pro level, then it's against other pros. It's with special rules. It's with a different kind of objective in mind. But when you're pub stomping, you're playing against other pub players, and you're also not going for the same thing that a MLG player is going for. You're not going for the fastest, most likely win. You're trying to play with your food a little before you eat it. You're trying to extract XP from these individuals, and maybe that means not raping the shit out of them so hard. Like an MLG pro might just rush the spawn and just take their flag and try to get the game over. They don't care about KDR.
I've played with them before. Like in Black Ops 2, for example, they would have rules about when you're allowed to take the B flag. You know, because I take the home flag and then try to get B. Like, that's the fight. That's how I typically start. Not these guys. They'll either let the other guys have B, or they'll just let no one have B for quite some time. So the game lasts longer, so it's a little easier to get 100 or 200 kills or whatever their goal is.
Yeah, we do that shit on BOG and COD 4 all the time. Just
oh, God, BOG.
It was so good. That's one of the best spawn traps of all time. That, and I liked Countdown too in COD 4 with the missile silos. You get up on those lids and shoot into the. Anyway,
Overgrown, man. Yeah. From was it called Grandma's house? No. It was the two-story one.
House. Get them over the gas station, spawning there, and
get them spawning at the gas station. What's the house by B-Dom called?
Grandma's.
I heard it.
No,
called
Grandma's is the one you can get on the roof.
Oh,
you can get on the roof too.
Well, I just call it Stonebridge.
Okay. Wait, I guess the Stonebridge. It's not the house I'm thinking of, though. The one that B-Dom is on.
Dude, playing pubs, you hear so many different callouts, it's hilarious. So there's not really ever one name.
I call that the machine gun house. The one that's got the mounted machine gun in it.
No, not that one either. The mounted machine gun's by the
Woodbridge.
It's across the field by the wooden bridge.
Yeah.
B-Dom.
Okay, B-Dom's in the gully, right?
No, B-Dom's it's sort of in the field right outside these stone stairs by a house.
Now I've got it. The library. That's what that's called.
Yes, it's the library. I think that's what the call out is. Yeah.
I remember when I first started playing with you guys like 4 years ago, you guys were all doing the call-outs, and for the first months, I just didn't know any of them, and so I would just take too long to describe. Like, one grandma's house. Oh yeah, there's a one at the brick wall with there's a green plant, and he's not there anymore. Now he's over by the gray tower.
He's in that corner, and he's like 50.
He's by the warehouse. Not the big warehouse, like the medium size, not too small though, like the medium-sized warehouse. He's by that
There's
one.
There's a cracked window on the third pane up from the left, on the east front of the building.
But you just don't know how. You're like, right here, and you want to be like, look at my triangle. It's the one vibrating in front of me.
Look at the spinning thing in the top of the map. That's where he is, because I'm spinning.
I think Modern Warfare 2 was probably the last game that I cared about enough to have legit call-outs for all the maps and memorize them and all that stuff. I did that for COD 4, for World at War, and for Modern Warfare 2, but I didn't do it so much for Black Ops. Or whatever. Yeah, Black Ops.
Yeah, it's Black Ops 1. Yeah.
I did it for COD 4. I skipped World at War 1. Like, I'm not really a World at War 1 player. I did it for Modern Warfare 2. I did it for Black Ops. I did it for Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2, actually. But
I was very good at zombies callouts. I would be like 400 right behind me. And that would just to let everyone...
The only call out I ever needed in zombie was, can someone revive me? That was it. That's all I needed.
Speaking of zombies, I used to play with this guy named TL Death, and he was a close friend of mine, and we would always carry him. He was like the anchor in zombies. He would just wear us down so bad. And the most downs he've had, we were rank 8 in Shangri-La on Black Ops 1 when it first came out, and we played, it was 4-man, we played for 16 hours straight, and he went down 147.
Syndicate took pity on me at one point because I couldn't get past 4th level and came and played with me so we could get on a bit further.
So he basically went down once every 7 minutes for 16 hours.
Pretty
That
much.
sounds awful.
It was ruthless. We had to level
That
up the
sounds
stick knife and get him up with the revive.
Oh yeah, good call.
Him and I sound equally as skilled at zombies.
Oh. Yeah, that was aggravating to deal with those people. And then after like round 20, you're like, well, I'm invested in them this far. I can't let them leave. You know?
All right, so I got some questions for you, Pone Star. So when did you discover that you were a little bit better than everyone else at video games?
Believe it or not, I'm very humble when it comes to just naturally playing until I'm provoked and I'm kind of like a dickbag. But as far as skill goes, my buddy Paul, he's the one who runs Pone Stars with me. We're actually 2 people. And I do the gameplay, and he's like the brains behind it all. He actually noticed it, and I didn't know there was any type of money making or any type of audience on YouTube at the time, or Twitch for that matter. At the time, it was Justin TV, and he told me about the business, and it just kind of went from there.
But I'm wondering before all that, before YouTube and everything, like you played video games on your own just for fun, and like when did you realize that you were good at them? Like you were better than your friends that you played with, and you were when you were like, yeah, I'm pretty fucking good at this. I'm fucking everybody up. Come on, you got to be thinking that, right? You die and you die and you like after an hour of like you die and you die and then you die, like you got to be like, I'm pretty fucking good at this.
To follow up to Kyle's thing, is it that you realize, you know what, I'm really good, or is it, why isn't everyone else good? Like, which one is your thought process?
I purposely challenge myself all the time, so I don't think that I'm the best. And
I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you to say that you're the. I'm not asking you to say anything like that. I'm just wondering, like, in your video game, in your life, when was it when you were like realized that you were better, and like in what circumstance? Like, what game were you playing, and when were you that you were like, yeah, I'm good at this.
I played a lot of Quake 3 Arena in my time, and I actually played that one game for 10 years straight. And in between the 10 years, it actually released for Dreamcast, so that was the actual first console that I ever played a FPS on religiously. And I played Quake on there and Unreal Tournament. And probably I was around 15 years old at the time. So I guess that's when.
So you think you cut your teeth playing games like that? You think was there a lot of competition? Was it one of those things where there were a lot of great players, and you think that pushed you to get better?
Oh, definitely. On the Quake servers for Dreamcast, actually played against PC players. So
wow!
It was really hard. And at the time, it was 56K, and the people I was going up against had broadband that just came out. So it was bad news on my end.
I have a question too. Have you thought about CS:GO? Like it appears to me that CS:GO is the new hot shooter. That's what everyone's talking about. They're spending tons of money on CS:GO, way more than they ever spent on COD. And I don't know. I bet if MLG picked up CS:GO and dropped COD, it would be a wildly popular move. Like, have you thought about switching games?
I've thought about it, believe it or not. I am getting up there to where I can't keep up with a lot of players out there anymore. I'm about to be 28 this year. I know that doesn't seem very old. But,
you'll be dead soon.
Once you hit that 30, once you hit that 30 threshold, you're done.
Do you have any gray hairs yet?
No gray hairs. Thank God.
None at all. I think I found one on my ball the other day.
Oh.
Well, I didn't find it. Somebody else found it.
Well, was it a gray one?
Poor girl.
Yeah, it was like a gray hair on my ball, and she was like, "You got a gray hair on your ball." I'm like, "Well, get it." Don't say anything, just pluck it out.
Give her like tweezers and tell her to go down and like pluck it out.
No,
I don't think I have any gray hairs on my balls.
She went in there like a Jewish priest going in to circumcise a young man, and she yanked that hair right up there.
Wow.
You ever seen? Have you seen the video of those? They're not priests. They're rabbis. Of the rabbis biting the boy's foreskin off. You seen this, Pawn Star?
I thought they just sucked the blood.
I saw the internet different to you.
Okay, I think that you took it one step too far.
Nope.
It's just sucking the blood out. They're not like manually. Like,
I'm pretty sure those guys are biting baby dicks.
I hope it's true because it's ridiculous. It's
oh my god.
I'm
How
pretty
did
sure
that get
guys
started?
are biting baby dicks. Rabbi bites off foreskin.
How did that
How
get
do you
started?
find these things?
Well, Google helps.
I think you use Google different to most
I get-
people.
Everybody always asks me, how do you do that? Google is the answer to everything you could possibly want to know.
It
I'm gonna
is.
get you. I got a video, but I'm gonna get you a timestamp.
I
I
think
don't, I don't want to watch a video.
Yeah, I think I'll
I
not.
think we all need to watch a video of
Kyle,
a rabbi
I'm with
biting a
you.
baby dick.
Did Rabbi sucking baby dick? Count me in.
Jesus, mother of God. All right, just real quick before you guys start playing it. So you were talking about the race, correct?
Uh-huh.
I like this guy.
We were talking about baby dicks, Pone. Don't try to change the topic.
Go back to the race. It'll take me a moment to find this baby
All right,
dick.
go ahead. Talk about the race.
I'm not usually the one to change topics real quick, but yeah, this year we're doing it for Advanced Warfare. It's gonna be me, Trademark, and the real Ron, 1224. I think he's been on PKA a few times.
Is that the Ron
And,
like Ron's Gamertag, Ron?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know if that guy loves me or hates me. He talks mad shit. And then I'm like, "Are you
What?
serious?" He's like, "No, I'm just goofing." And it's like but you read it and you're like, that's just her feeling hurting. You
hurt my feel bad.
Yeah, like, how is that a joke? That's not funny by anyone's standard.
No, we're gonna be racing. I don't know him on a personal level. I know Trademark more so on a personal level, and thankful that Trademark actually picked me up last year because I didn't do the race with him like I said Black Ops 2. Ghost was the first one that I did it with, and it was very successful for my channel and his channel. So it was pretty cool, and there's going to be more teams competing this year than last year. A lot of the pub clans are going to be competing in it. I think Optic's competing in it again. Hashtag races, obviously. So that's pretty cool.
Who else is going to be in it?
So there's Doom Clan, who's they're starting to get very big in pub stomping clan wise for like the clan wars and stuff that Ghost had. I don't know how Advanced Warfare is going to be in that scenario, but they're starting to grow. Wicked Elite's going to be in it, which is the clan that I'm part of, and me, basically. I already named off the two other ones, and I think some European teams, Fear Crads, might be doing it.
Oh.
And I think someone else. I forget who.
Should be cool.
Is there a
I don't have a
prize,
list of them.
or is it just bragging rights?
It's just bragging rights.
The prize is like 250,000 subs to whoever is the
Well,
winner.
Last year, Infinity Reward actually tweeted us out, which was huge, and I got to know a lot of, like Jeff Locke. He's a baseball pitcher. He actually was watching the race at the time, and me and him actually became close friends, which is pretty cool. You get to meet a lot of different people through scenarios like this.
So where do people find your stream?
Well, it's on my Twitter, and I'm usually number 1 or number 2 on the Twitch streams for Call of Duty. It's pretty easy to find.
Okay, all right, but you're not very good at advertising. It's
No.
twitch.com/
Oh, twitch.tv/PWNSTARZDOTCOM. So it's .com spelled out.
PoneStar.com, but
With a Z. Yep.
all right, let's do it slow.
Is your Twitter any easier?
Yeah. PoneStars.com.
So PoneStars.com, PWNSTARZ, not S, DOTCOM, PoneStars.com with a Z.
Yeah.
So while you're doing the race, what percentage of it is actually fun, and what percentage is just maddening and terrible?
Actually, the whole race is fun until the race is over because you spent so many hours on the one game that you kind of burnt out on it. But
So by
during the
day
whole race,
2,
it's
you're
pretty
tired of it.
cool. No. By the end of the race, probably like 5 or 6 days in.
And then the other 360 days, you're like, I don't even want to play this game.
Yeah.
So how many hours did you put in last time around in that 5 or 6 day span?
Me and him both pulled 12-hour shifts, and it lasted for I think about 6 days as well. So, a long time. And this one has 15 prestiges.
Nice.
50 levels, so it's
50
gonna be
levels,
rough.
though?
Yeah.
All right.
Christ
Wow.
almighty.
What do you
Wow.
eat throughout all that? Do you have like
So-
hot pockets on reach and like really quick, close foods, or?
Oh, thank God I have a faithful fiance that can cook me some grub, so I'm okay in that little area.
If
Does
she
she
delivers
get
it as Mary
aggravated at, like,
Poppins,
day
you're
4?
you're in good shape.
No, she's actually not aggravated at all. She knows what I'm
Nice.
doing, and she's very supportive. Thank God.
Yeah, I find that women support gaming so long as they get money out of it.
Yes, that is very true.
Some weird pattern there.
Yeah, they're okay with that.
Real
Kyle,
quick,
I don't
though,
see a link to rabbis sucking baby dicks at all.
Why didn't
I
you just
actually
let it
looked that up
drop?
too. I couldn't find it.
I was
I was
excited.
waiting on you. I was waiting you to wrap your little thing up. It turned out that rabbis don't bite the baby dicks, and the reason that I thought that they did, in my own defense, I think, was because I saw a Reddit article about the lady castrating like farm animals with her teeth. Like that is a thing, and then I saw a video, a GIF, double rather, of a rabbi like with the baby, and he went like this. He went like ah, and I thought that he was literally biting it off, but it turns out that I was way off base. All they do is suck the bloody dick after they cut it with a knife. Like,
Yeah.
I was way off base.
I mean,
That's
that's
still
normal.
bad.
Yeah, what you were describing was some pretty fucked up behavior. But to just
Barbaric.
suck
So-
a bloody
Well,
baby
that's
dick.
A rabbi sucks a
hasn't?
baby dick.
To stop the bleeding, yes.
Can you imagine the first person that walked in on a guy doing that? Like, Rabbi Goldstein's taking a while. Let's see what he's up to. And they walk in there, and he's like, "Oh, God told me to do it. You can't tell me he didn't." Like, and they're like, "Fuck, he's got us there."
Wait, what did you say? I was laughing. He can't tell me he didn't what?
Oh, he would just say that God told him to do it,
Oh.
and nobody can tell him, like, "Hey, holy man, God didn't tell you that." But you can, but he'll just say, "Yeah, you did. You don't know I did."
America, I believe that I can confirm that God is all for, you know,
Bloody
having a
baby
little
dick
fun with
sucking.
young boys' penises.
Yeah.
I am horrified. Like, I am legitimately horrified.
Oh, you're fine.
Why? Kyle's just in character. It's fine. No big deal.
Yeah, that's how he speaks to
What would,
God.
what would my priest name be? What would my? I need a new last name. Like, would I be?
Father Grope.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Get out of here. There you go. That's a winner right off the bat. Father Grope. Okay, I like it.
We're terrible people.
Last thing about the race, real quick. If you guys are interested, if you guys want to promote his channel, he's very, very smart with leveling up on multiple games. He doesn't just do Call of Duty. I'm talking about Trademark, and he's got his own website for strategy guides and whatnot, which is pretty cool. It's
the website?
gamingupgrade.com.
Say it again?
GamingUpgrade.com.
Yep.
Gamingupgrade.com. All right.
So I have another question. I guess this is an advanced warfare question. From what you've seen of the game, what maybe you've gleaned from trailers and such, or I don't know what, maybe you've seen some video. What do you have a strategy for what you're gonna do? You know, your first kit, your first setup, anything like that? Have you even thought that far?
I haven't thought as far as loadouts go. I'd have
Will
to.
you? Will you put some time into that? Like as time is, you know, the days get closer, will you?
Oh
do
yeah,
anything like that?
I'm getting the game. I said gate. Wow, the game a day early.
He's getting
from
gay.
Day 0.
Exposed on Painkiller already. Word is out. He's getting gay a day before he needs to, a day early. Carry on.
All right. So I'm getting it on Saturday, and that should be enough time for me to learn the basics down pat. But I think the main thing on that game is getting the movement down. I think once you get the dashes down and whatnot, you're gonna reign supreme in there.
I don't even know. Is it significantly different, or what's going on with the
Double.
movement?
Yeah, there's double jump, and while you're in that, getting ready to do the double jump, you could dash to the left, to the right, forward, backwards. Well, I don't know if you could do backwards, but
Oh, so it's sort of like Borderlands or.
Did you play
Destiny.
Titanfall?
More like Destiny. All right, yeah, that's what I meant. I meant Titanfall. Yeah.
Yeah, Titanfall is the closest movement that I know of. I haven't played Advanced Warfare, but Titanfall had that same sort of dash left, right, sprint, and double jump concept.
yeah, when you were in a Titan, it's similar just to that.
Yeah, except the Titan didn't have double jump, but the
Yeah.
player did. What'd they call the player in Titanfall? Does anyone remember?
Pilot?
A pilot.
Pilot?
Yeah,
Pilot.
pilot. When you're a pilot, you had double jump, and when you're in the Titan, you had a concept of like a dash, and you
Yeah.
put it together, and you got Advanced Warfare-like movement.
Pretty much. Yep. But I'm actually excited for it. Infinity Ward tweeted, or not, they didn't tweet, but Infinity Ward made Ghost, and it was probably the worst Call of Duty in the franchise so far. Towards the end of the year, they couldn't maintain the numbers that they had for any other Call of Duty prior. And to me, personally, I think it was because of the time to kill. You know, you got 3 bullets to your big toe and you're dead. And, you know, campers, they would love that. You don't have enough time to respawn to anybody sitting in a corner, because by the time you turn, you're dead. And I think, personally, that's why Ghost fell off. But with Advanced Warfare, even if it's the same time to kill, you see a camper, you're going to dash out of the way, and he ain't going to know what hit him. Bam, he's dead.
The big maps bug me. I didn't play the DLC map, so it might be a fairly different game now by the time all the DLC comes out.
What, Ghost? Or
Yeah.
Advanced Warfare?
Ghost.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about Ghost. But, you know, I just found it... You're better than me. I'm sure you were able to rush. But whenever I rushed, I felt like I was running across the open like a, you know, little turkey at the fair. Does that make sense? The shooting gallery.
That's definitely what happened.
and like I don't know Ghost that well, but what's the map? It's like open grass field with lots of rubble fences.
Stonehaven?
Yeah, it is Stonehaven. And you know, I had a hard time just navigating that map. If you want to rush, which is what people like to watch in YouTube videos,
Yeah.
that map is a camper's delight. You know, just
It
find
is.
a spot and pick off the people who are foolishly rushing.
It is. You had to scale the outside of the map on that, definitely, to flank a lot of people. And that's the only way I prospered on that map, was to do that.
Yeah. In domination, though, sometimes that's not an option, right? Like, I guess
No,
it
it's
is
not.
if you're just going for kills, but, you know, you got to put yourself in dangerous situations, and you're just standing there out in the open while the whole map looks at you.
If you want, man, you can use your teammate as a meat shield, and when he gets picked off, you know where to look, and then you're good to go, pretty much. You could be a dickhead like that.
So, I know that Pwn Star's getting Advanced Warfare. Who else is, and for what consoles?
I don't even know if I will. Is there a horde mode?
They actually said I don't know. It's incognito, basically.
No.
I won't know until I have the game, but it's been talked about. T. Martin talked about it on his YouTube videos. And
Oh. Then yeah, I guess that's the only stipulation for me. If it does have horde mode, I'll buy it. If not, probably not.
because I think Sledgehammer leaked out a screenshot of like zombie-looking Advanced Warfare exosuit dudes.
Oh, then I'm in. Yeah.
It needs to be zombies, though. Like, I don't like I don't want to shoot aliens. I don't want to shoot, like...
People.
I want zombies. I want zombies.
I want zombies in exosuits. I want them to dash out of the way during gunfire. I want, like, smart AI if it's going to be zombies.
No, I want them as dumb as conceivably possible. And easy
Yeah.
to kill.
Train them up. Here's what...
That BS on the terrain where they set rocks up so I can't do exactly what I want to win easy. That's what I play for.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to challenge myself. It's horde mode.
And it's okay if you put them in spacesuits or exosuits or whatever. But when you shoot them, I want them to malfunction, and then those guys to rocket up like a bottle rocket and explode. I want some cool special zombies. I want cool effects with the environmental effects. I want the whole bit.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't want them to have ranged attacks either. I like it when they actually have
No,
to hit you, maul
don't
you.
be spitting anything at me. Don't be throwing shit like you're a zombie. You just walk in a straight line in that big crowd and let me shoot this giant.
Let's
gun
go
at you.
next level. I would like them to stand still.
I want them in a hole. I want to be on top of the hole.
Yeah.
I
would
also
like-
don't want the entire floor of every map to burn you to death if you stand still.
Oh, God,
What the
yeah.
fuck, Treyarch? Like, you really seem to go out of your way to make sure that people can't have fun in zombies. Like, let's put lava all over the ground. I was training people on the one of the maps with lava on the ground, and a bus comes driving by, and now I'm stuck in a corner. Like, holy,
Yeah.
seriously, you parked a bus in my field? That's not fair.
Game developers don't understand this, I think, sometimes. But what really pisses players off is inconsistency, unfair things happening to you. Like that bus shouldn't have, if that bus hadn't have been there at that random amount of time, then like you wouldn't have had an issue. So you kind of died unfairly. It feels bad. If you died because like there were just too many of them and you weren't shooting well, and you shouldn't have reloaded right then. You're like, shit, I fucked up. I'll play better next time. This is a learning experience. But if the bus shows up and you just get like blocked out between some lava, a bus, and 4 zombies, and you just get mauled, you're just like, well, fuck you, bus. Now I don't even want to play. I'll go back and play fucking some other game.
That's those zombies that can one-hit you. Like usually, like in the beginning when you're trying to get your knife kills, and there's just that one guy just throat punches through the window, and you're just dead immediately.
He throws like a double whack. He's like left, right.
Or as Merca pointed out, like they often seem to design the map in such a way that you can't kite zombies. You know, they're doing everything they can to stop you from being able to run a lap.
Players still find out a way anyways.
Yep.
That's true, but why? Like, if I told you I'm designing a game
Because
and I'm
there
doing
is someone
everything
at Treyarch, like me, whose sole purpose in life is to destroy fun. And quite frankly, if ever they lose their job, you can contact me on Twitter. Because it sounds like something that I would be great at. I know exactly what would piss people off.
Are you getting the game, Kitty?
Depends if awake at midnight when it comes
I have
out.
an idea, Kitty. You can keep this one in your pocket if you ever get the job. Random gun malfunctions.
Yes, right? The odd jam.
Yeah, every so often your gun jams.
Maybe like you get a defective round that blows up and takes out the barrel, so now you've got no barrel on your gun.
Every so often,
to call a hotline and ask someone, all right, and I'm screwing it back on now. Well, you're not going to want to do that, sir. You're going to
like
want to
Microsoft
remove the barrel again.
support.
And yeah,
That's a kill
You
streak.
have to call Microsoft support.
I got a kill streak. So there's 2 kinds of ammo crates. One of them gives you ammo, like refills your grenades, gives whatever your specialty is as well. But there is an offensive one you could call in that would be like all of those things booby-trapped. So if the enemy grabs those grenades and tries to use them, they blow up. If they load their guns with that ammo, their gun blows up. Stuff like that. That'd be cool.
doesn't that exist? That was a kill streak already. Which game had that?
You could
that was just
Modern
the
Warfare
crate
3.
box.
Well, they had...
No,
yeah,
there was,
they had them booby-trapped, so if you tried to get anything out of it, you just died.
Am
But
I
I'd like
crazy?
to be
There was
ammo.
one you could literally like drop a fake one. You didn't just convert it with engineer. It dropped.
Yeah, it was Modern Warfare 3. It was just it was on the support one.
But I
Okay.
think what Kyle's talking about isn't just having the booby trap go off in the box. He's talking about them reloading, then like going to B flag, and then when they shoot, it just blows up in their face like a cartoon.
Yeah, that way it would be realistic. Like that's a thing. I saw that was being done in Syria. Like hot loads of ammo were being sent in to some of the fighters, and they were blowing their guns up. You just put too much gunpowder or the wrong kind of too much gunpowder in the round when it's loaded, and it'll blow your fucking gun up, or at least break it.
Would
That's a
it
good
kill
idea.
the guy, or would they have to go around with just their secondary?
They'd be horribly mangled and not able to walk correctly.
Okay, so do they become a zombie?
Face.
Yeah, just a fucked up face. They're wailing in pain.
Yeah, I'd like something like that. So wait, Kitty, I didn't ask if you were going to get it at midnight. I asked, are you going to buy it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm kind of meh. I see how I feel when it comes out and who gets it and
Kyle,
whatever.
you?
Yeah, I'm going to get it for PC.
See, that's interesting, right? And I was gonna say, if you talked to me 9 months ago, I'd be like, I buy whatever game is best for that. I buy it for whatever platform it's best on. Assassin's Creed, it's a console game. Grand Theft Auto, I don't know, mostly console, I
PC.
guess. I don't think the new one's
PC.
even. It's not even out yet, is it? Or maybe it is now. I remember hearing about it.
They'll
I don't
roast
know.
you alive, buddy. Just say PC and move along.
But Grand Theft Auto, is the new one out on PC yet?
Yeah, it's a big deal. It's amazing on PC. It's got a big fan base.
I've actually, like I said,
my
I
mistake.
played Quake for 10 years, right? And it was a PC game, and I loved PC for the majority of my childhood. But the amount of hackers and stats that weren't viable to actually read, that you question if it's legitimate or not. That's what killed it. It killed the fun for me.
That's true.
So I
When I
went
was
to con-
Now, 9 months ago, I just bought it for whatever platform was best. Now, I kind of just buy for PC. My console's not really set up to record or even use. This monitor doesn't have multiple inputs on it anymore. It'd be a pain in the butt to try to get my PC going or my console going. So, if it's good for PC, I'll probably buy it. If it's not, I probably won't. Unless maybe I set up my consoles in the new house or something, and it becomes more viable.
I think I want to play it on PC. I think I do. I think I want to see it, and I keep hearing about frame rates and this 900p bullshit from some games on the consoles, and I don't even want to get in. I want the full maximum I can get out of it. I want it all.
That's what a lot of PC people want, man. They want that sexy quality, and I was the same way, definitely. But after a while, gameplay is going to stick out more than the quality, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, I played the last COD on PC.
I played Modern Warfare 3 on PC, not very much, but a little bit. And at the time, I was worse on PC than I am now, and I struggled a lot, like a lot, you know. And I was playing Modern Warfare 3 daily on the console, so I was good, right? I'm not as on Pwnstar.com, but you'd want me on your team. And then I go to PC, and you would not want me not on your team. You want me on the other team.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna struggle. I've definitely gotten a lot better with the keyboard and mouse. I played a lot of DayZ, like I don't know, 20 or 30 hours it seemed like, and
Borderlands
we've been
lately.
playing a lot. Yeah, Borderlands lately. I feel like I've got it down, especially for Borderlands. Like I'm 100% confident at Borderlands, but COD requires a little bit more fine tuning.
The thing about COD is like the things I do on console, like jump strafe sideways through a window. I don't think I'm there yet, even now on a keyboard and mouse.
It's kind of like,
Yeah, like there's all sorts of crouch jumping things that I would do on console that you know how you get over walls and stuff quickly through windows. I don't do that the same on PC, and I'm just a little slower. I played with Incredible Orb. That guy really does dominate like he does in his videos. He was dropping double nukes and stuff a lot on PC. He's very good.
People like that guy and Pwnstar, I think you always just kind of bother me because I'll be like doing a pub stomp or like a couple really good games, and I'll be like, I'm pretty dope at this. I'm pretty good, and then they'll come in and I'll be like, oh no, I remember, I'm not. This is, I got to pretend for 3 lobbies, but this is the real deal. Like,
Oh, that's right. I'm just better than 99% of the people. This is the 1%.
Yeah. Yeah.
reality check granted.
I don't even know if I was ever better than 99%. You know, it was somewhere high though, like 90th, 95. You know, like if there's 12 people in a lobby and I'm typically first, you know, that would make you what, top 10%ish.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not top 1%. Like you know, I don't think I was ever that guy.
yeah, never the guy that makes whole lobbies leave, not because of the team, but because of just that guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, speaking of which, dude, new game. I can't wait to play Mortal Kombat X. Oh my god, that game looks so sexy. I don't know if you guys are into fighting games.
I'm not, but I'm kind of interested in that. I read a little bit about it. I haven't seen any screenshots or anything from it, but I'm interested in it. And I feel like it would be I feel like fighting games are like the perfect competitive game. Like you can say what you want about like a 1v1 or a team-based game and a first-person shooter. There's so many variables. But with a fighting game, it's just you start here, I start here, same bag of tricks, let's go. And it's there's something to be said about that.
Lag.
I definitely agree. I can agree 100%. I play FPS. I love watching Tekken on Twitch. I don't watch anybody play FPS. I watch fighting games, and that's like my bread and butter. I love watching it. So I actually picked up on a lot of Tekken, and Tekken's really technical fighting game. It's very hard to learn. Just to master one character would take about a year, and there's like 50 characters on there. But,
That's crazy.
It's fun.
I watch personalities on Twitch. I don't even care what game they're playing. You know, I usually go to the people who are the most viewers because oftentimes they're funny or interesting, or there's something about them that made them stand out. And you know, I don't know, see who they are.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. It's like an unfiltered look at somebody, and that's what I find interesting.
I mean, I can agree with you on that. I see where you're coming from. At the same time, I think to myself, like, what if it's a front? Are you fronting? Are you like that in real life? I kind of want to get to know somebody on a personal level like that, if it's true. So it kind of leaves me in doubt when I try to search for someone like that.
You're right, but to me, the fronts, it's easy to do on YouTube, right? Where you're like, all right, it's a pre-recorded thing. You upload it when you're happy with it. With Twitch, you know, it's live.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's true. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
Huh? I have bad days on Twitch. It's kind of hard to swallow sometimes.
Who
And
doesn't?
A lot of viewers pick up on it, but you know, what can you do?
So I Minecraft stream. I stream Minecraft a lot, And I get picked on a lot, like even on my own server. Like we did a new Kit PvP server, which probably means nothing to you, but picture like a free-for-all with 90 people in it, but it's sword fighting. And I get into like 1v12s all the time. And I am maybe average. So if we 1v1, I'll win about half the time. 1v12, I'm just getting rocked, destroyed repeatedly. I can hardly make my points. The stream is just me being wrecked by my subs, and it's like, can we stop this? Can we do something else?
It's like that on my end too. I get session joiners in my games, and they always try to shut me down, like as far as gameplay goes. And that's what's happening to you. They know that you're live streaming. They want to shut you down, and they get a kick out of it.
There's that, or they just like to be on TV, like
yeah,
they want to be seen, and I don't think they are hating me. I think they just like being part of the show and don't really realize that, like on my side of it, it's a pretty rough experience. And but whatever, sometimes it's like that, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes we win.
Want to talk about the Pope, Woody? My boss.
Sure. Pone, do you want to take off?
It's up to you guys, to be honest. I'm just kicking it right now.
Okay, all right. So the Pope came out and said, let me see, I have a link here, and I don't want to get it wrong.
Before you get into that, I am going to head off because my back's starting to get a little painful, so I'm going to go chill out in the hot tub. But it was fun.
Well, you
nice
enjoy
Take care.
Take care.
Bye, Katie.
See you later, guys. Bye.
So the Pope came out in favor of science stuff that we don't typically associate with the church. And he said, when we read about creation in Genesis, we run the risk of imagining God was a magician with a magic wand able to do everything. But that's not so. He created human beings and let them develop according to the internal laws that he gave each one so they would reach fulfillment. God is not a divine being or a magician, but the creator who brought everything to life. Evolution in nature is not inconsistent with the notion of creation because evolution requires the creation of beings that evolve. That's the core of it.
The furious backpedaling of every religion, like, well, this kind of works too. I know we crucified and, killed people for saying this like 500 years ago, but we can't deny it anymore. We have to kind of try and shoehorn it in. So
that
works.
He's pro-evolution. I think he's pro-Big Bang, but I didn't find the quote in there. But he was kind of okay with the Big Bang theory. He's kind of okay with evolution. But the way that he's sort of lining it up is that God, or the creator, sort of laid out a set of rules. Like he built chemistry and physics and those things. And now what's happening is just his initial plan is being executed.
Wow.
The challenge with it for me, like Taylor was starting to say, is it feels like every time they get backed into a corner with like, dude, we have overwhelming scientific proof. There's tons of like geology that proves that this is what's going on, and it's getting tougher and tougher to explain your position. They say, all right, now we may have declared this as an immutable position, something that can't change. And the right answer, the answer key, the undeniable religious background. It says right here in the Bible, what more proof do you want? This is the Bible. It's the word of God. I know that it's true because it says it right here. And then they just sort of back up and like, whoa. You know what? This is, it's just a guideline. And now we kind of accept your science most of the way. God started the one little hole that we haven't filled yet. And, if I told you that the reason the sun shines is because fucking, I don't know, birds sing, and then you prove that it's something else, that it's, gases or nuclear, whatever the hell makes the sun shine, maybe you guys know, then like the undeniable, immutable, this is what the truth is thing, like you can't take that stance. I like what science does, where they say this is a theory and this is a law. These are the things we figured out undeniably, and these are the things that are our best guesses.
It's just moving the goalposts all the time.
Well, science does that too. It's just that that's part of their process. Look, we're not sure about this. This is my best guess so far. But with religion, they say we are absolutely sure about this, and then anything else is a backpedal, a moving the goalpost, a challenge.
Are any of you guys religious?
No.
Not really.
Atheist, yeah.
The guy who invented the Big Bang Theory was a priest, though. Like the guy who authored it.
Heretic.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Big Bang Theory has definitely been challenged by religious circles, right? Like you've seen that a lot, where they say, no, Big Bang Theory is bullshit. What started the Big Bang? No.
Well, okay, well, you can't throw the Catholic. Well, we're talking about the Pope and the Catholic Church,
Yeah.
not just religion.
I want you to address the issue like as us, like we, like as if you're actually on their side during this.
Oh,
We feel it's unfair.
we have felt for a long time that it's because it's that the Big Bang Theory made the most sense for the origin of all existence, and we think that that was I think the idea is that they think that God did all of those things, and while it does sound really easy to explain everything, I think that's their stance, and it has been for some time. Because I know John Paul II has made very similar remarks to what Francis is saying now. I just think there wasn't as much internet and weren't as many Redditors around back then.
Internet. But yeah, it's certainly getting silly at how much they're having to change. And isn't that kind of in and of itself even saying, oh, well, that's just, he put this into place. It's like, so then does that mean that Ebola and, piranhas and mosquitoes, these were all necessary parts? Like the guy who made the universe couldn't think
Have you ever seen Signs when he gave the little kid asthma so he wouldn't inhale the poison? God works in mysterious ways, Merca. Just deal
maybe
with
they could have done with no poison.
No, God likes a show.
But so now
Mel Gibson wouldn't have learned anything if he did that, would he?
The Pope is now saying evolution is legit, and this is a thing that God kicked off. And how many Christians have you heard say, "I didn't come from a monkey," indignantly?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot.
A lot of Christians don't think Catholics are Christians. Or a lot of Protestants don't.
Very common.
All right, I got a new topic here.
Okay.
What you got?
So a man was cleared of possession of illegal pornography after it turned out that the tiger in his pornographic video was in fact just a man in a tiger suit. So a British man was arrested for owning quote-unquote extreme porn featuring a woman having sex with a tiger. He was cleared after lawyers realized the cat was in fact a man in a costume. Andrew Holland was arrested and charged with possessing bestiality porn after friends sent him the clip as a joke. The footage appeared to show a woman having sex with the wild animal. The 51-year-old bus driver spent a stressful 6 months on bail and suffered a near-fatal heart attack after being targeted by online vigilantes. Mistakenly labeled a pedophile, he was banned from seeing his young daughter for more than a year. And he told the Independent that he lost his job and was also forced to leave his hometown. But his case was finally dropped in December of 2009 after investigators realized that the tiger in the footage was actually a man wearing a costume. They discovered their embarrassing mistake after listening to the clip again and heard the man echoing Frosted Flakes mascot Tony the Tiger's famous catchphrase, "They're great!" Holland, whose computer was confiscated over an unrelated domestic dispute that didn't end in charges, is now demanding a change in the law. He wants to prevent harmless but crude jokes from ending in prosecution.
Please tell me this wasn't America. God. Or if it was America, tell me it was Florida.
Probably not America.
It was in Britain. That is fucking awful.
How dumb do you have to be to mistake a man in a... Who was the person that ruined him? Is like, hey, is that a 600-pound muscle cat that lives in the jungle? Or, oh, no, that's just a human being. That's just a human. My bad. Like, what a dumb... And that guy got ruined because someone can't identify animals.
I imagine calling in a zoologist for his defense team. He got Jack Hanna up on the witness stand. Well, Mr. Hanna, in Exhibit A here, we can clearly see a large Bengal tiger engaging in coitus with a young female. That's a dude.
Yeah. It seems the tiger was made almost exclusively of polyester.
Real tigers don't say, "They're great."
Oh, that's awful, but they ruined his fucking life. And you know what? They don't say in that article explicitly, but the cause of all this was his cunt of a wife.
Oh.
Ooh, so she
His
ratted him out.
No, his wife totally called it a domestic dispute complaint. Turned out it was an unfounded thing. And because of that, they took his computer and they found a video that a friend had sent to him as a joke, who hasn't received one of these, of a dude dressed as a tiger fucking a lady. And they saw that and racked him up on bestiality charges.
Who hasn't dressed as a tiger and fucked someone?
Not me, not yet. Anyways, that sounds.
Oh,
funny.
just the horse
Let
head.
he who is not dressed as a tiger fuck the woman cast the first stone.
Dude, I'm gonna use that mask tonight.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Oh,
He who is without sin.
That's funny, but man, that is just the worst. The whole time the guy had to just be like, this can't be really what's happening. I'm on a show. Nobody could mistake a human being in a, Tony the Tiger suit.
I want to see the video now.
500-pound animal.
Let me find the video.
Oh God, you're gonna get fucked if that video's on your computer.
It's clearly not like I got a precedent here for the legality of this fucking video. Let's see.
Now the question is that still extreme porn?
No.
No, you want to
furry
know
action?
extreme porn? Lemonparty.org. That's extreme porn.
Oh.
Yeah, check it out, viewers.
Some older ones.
You're gonna be scarred for life if you look that up.
I saw someone at a political rally suggest that you go to lemonparty.org for like a third-party candidate.
Wow.
That's great.
Man, that's just awful that they did that. They ruined that guy's life over a silly joke and their own fucking stupidity.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it is pretty
terrible.
awful.
Is he?
Very
He can't sue or anything, can he?
I think that's I don't know, British law. In
Yeah,
America,
I don't know
in America, he could probably sue. We're a little bit more litigious than most, but
You could sue him for like libel or something, right? Or slander. I don't know.
he could probably sue maybe a news organization who said something about him
So,
like that. Whoever called him a pedophile.
What
for
was
sure.
the motivation of the cunt of a wife?
Oh, because this all stemmed from a false domestic dispute call. His wife called the police. The police came and took his computer, and then they found the video, and then he got the charges, and then his life was ruined.
Did she manipulate it so they would take his computer? Like, he's been beating me with his laptop.
Oh, I don't know. I'm reading into this a lot. I just generally think it's a good idea to blame the woman involved.
Yeah. I had it. I want to talk Sam Peppers for a little bit. Somehow this leads into that in my head. Did you want to keep going on this?
I want to go pee.
Take
And
the
then
camera with
grab
you.
himself an apple, some celery sticks, pop
I
rocks.
I may grab a snack while I'm there. Would you like something?
Yes. Well, wait. Before I answer, will you be washing your hands?
Absolutely not. My dick is clean.
No, it's all you, dude. You keep it.
All right, I'll be right back. I don't. I think I know who Sam Peppers is, but I'm not sure. He's the ass grabber.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think too poorly of him, though. I think that he should probably get an ass beating.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a criminal. I'm sorry. I'll be back.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him aside from what Boogie said last week, and that's about what Kyle summed up in the last 8 seconds.
I'm assuming you guys have a PKA.
I think we mentioned it. Yeah, we watched the video, talked about it.
Okay, I gotta find that one because
Oh, you haven't seen it?
no, I have not.
This is the Sam Peppers video?
I haven't even
Before
seen that
you-
one either. Believe it or not.
Wait, what video
I
were we
haven't
talking
seen
about?
that at all.
I've seen the Ray Rice. I didn't hear you guys talk about it yet, but I have not seen the Sam Pepper at all. You just Google search them.
I have it actually, and just give me 1 second, and I don't know if you can see the whole video, but you'll definitely get the gist of it here.
I'm actually using an app. I don't even know if I could back out of this and still maintain the call.
All right.
Let's find out. Oh, we're good. Good deal.
So you can see, you know what? I'm gonna risk copyright here, and you can see he's got like a fake hand. It's kind of tucked in his shirt, and he's able to have a conversation with girls, and they can't tell who did it.
Why does this guy have a sumo wrestler haircut? Where only the top of his head has hair, and he's got it in a little tiny ponytail.
I didn't know about him before this video, like before he got in all this hot water, and apparently he was on a TV show, like the British version of Big Brother, maybe. I think I have that right, actually. So he's kind of known even outside of YouTube. That launched his YouTube career. And he does these prank videos. The new wave of prank videos is
cringy and awful.
Thank you. That's perfect. Cringy and awful. The old school prank guys, like I don't even know prank versus prank, right? Do you know them?
I've seen a couple of theirs.
There's kind of a muscled Italian guy dating this pretty girl. She might be blonde, and they pull pranks on each other, and it's kind of cute, and it's within the context of what seems to be a healthy relationship, and it. I don't know. They're just good videos. They've done so many of them. At some point, you question whether or not they're genuinely surprised. Like, if you've buttered the floor on me 100 times, at some point, it's not like, how could you?
Yeah.
Like
this guy and this style. Like, I haven't even watched it yet, but I can tell just by watching his entire, like, shtick is like, hey, watch me have no shame over here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go over there and have no shame. And then watch me embarrass myself and have no shame on that street corner. It's like, oh, dude, you're just making everybody uncomfortable who's watching this.
Going to the ghetto or, like, mistreating women seems to be the new prank thing.
So, like, I'm going to go yell something mean at someone. That's not a prank.
Yeah, right? I'm going to pretend to steal a phone, then just shout out it was just a prank, repeatedly. Yeah. And, what was I saying? So, so Sam Peppers, you guys saw, like, this chick that got him in all this hot water. He would grab girls' butts, and you couldn't see as I was doing it, but the audio is like, don't do that. This makes me uncomfortable. And he later came out and said it was a social experiment all along, which nobody bought. He did later say that they weren't strangers, that these were like paid actresses, which I don't know if I can believe that or not. Is it sexual assault, though?
Who got called on it.
Taylor, is it sexual assault? What he did? Did you see it? Him squeeze a girl's butt?
I haven't seen it. I haven't
there's a
paused.
link in the chat.
Oh, I thought we were watching it together. I'll check it out. My bad.
Yeah, I'm reading an article on it right now. The fake
he has
hand
a fake hand?
pinch prank.
Yeah, I'll show it to everyone again. So the guy comes out with a fake hand, and that enables him to sort of squeeze a girl's butt, and get away with it a little better.
Yeah, this isn't even a prank. Like, what's the payout? What's the win at the end?
It's the like, fake hand butt pinch prank.
That's so.
This dude hasn't been blasted in the face yet?
Yeah, he should get blasted in the face, this asshole.
You figure some broad would turn around and just wham.
Yeah,
blasted in the face means something different to me. But,
okay.
All right. What was I gonna say? He had another one, and I haven't seen this video, so I'm cautious about talking too much about it. But apparently he'd handcuff himself to a pretty girl and not release the cuffs until she kissed him. Now, I don't know if I think in some cases they were kisses on the cheek, in some cases they were kisses on the lips. It's been described as make out, but I would be surprised if they actually like freaking went down passionately kissing him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to Google
that
it.
1 minute clip I just watched of the dude, I just do not. Yeah, that's douchey.
He looks like a douche.
Yeah, there's no. Why have your hair like that too?
I know.
Ugh.
How many YouTube subs does he have? Just curious.
I have no idea.
YouTube. I'm trying to search right now.
Is his channel Sam Pepper?
Official Sam Pepper.
Oh, official. All the other imitators. All the imposters.
He's got 2,365 subs. Must be doing something.
Yeah. Just needlessly groping people on the street.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know about this dude. I've seen him before. I've seen this picture before, but...
So, after this happened, after he, I'm trying to think it. So after he got called out, the butt pinch video is what really got attention. They started looking through his library, and he had a bunch of videos that were equally offensive, which in my mind is not good behavior, but not over the top. They're calling him a sexual predator. They're calling him a rapist for like butt pinching and.
Well, he's not a rapist.
He looks like one, sort of, but...
Well, I wouldn't argue with you about that.
Let's turn it around.
Hair.
Let's say, Taylor, that without your consent, a girl pinched your butt.
Well, that's a different set of standards.
Should it be?
I agree.
Well, yeah, it should be. It should be a different set of standards because there are different implications to when a woman is squeezing a man's ass than when a man's squeezing a woman's. I guess I could understand as a chick feeling like, oh, well, I really don't have any say in this if he decides to go any further. Whereas with a guy, unless she's like, Ronda Rousey, you can shut things down and you still feel pretty comfortable with it. But either way, it's kind of it's just violating.
Holy crap!
Jesus, Kyle.
Is that it?
He's got a big clown mask on. Kyle, costume
it's
number
clown?
3 in the first 2 hours.
Nice, Kyle.
That's gonna be hard to breathe in, man. I know my unicorn was really hard.
What if this isn't even Kyle, and he was murdered by a clown to get a snack upstairs?
No, he brought a knife.
If he lifted up like a fake Kyle head right now, that would be so good.
So I've got a lot of costumes, believe it or not. I have more. But do you want to talk about the scary fucking clowns that have been terrorizing Cali, or are we still talking about that guy they're calling a rapist because he pinched women?
What? I didn't even hear about that either.
I
We
think
can
we
get to
should.
that after we're done with this guy, or I'm pretty much done with it. Seems like a douche who makes unfunny videos based on my
I'm just
58
torn
seconds
on-
of watching it.
So women have come out of the blue and said that he raped them, and I feel like they don't have any proof. None of them do. I was talking to my daughter about it, and she's like, you know how hard it is to, tell the world that you're raped and how traumatic it is and things like that. And I just, but are they opportunists? Is this guy actually a rapist? There's no proof. None. And I hate to be
And now
pro-rapist
now we're
on
into
this
a
thing.
culture. Yeah, now we're into a culture that even like questioning if something did happen is like, you're in favor of it. Like it's like, well, no, let's just see what the facts are. Let's not jump the gun.
Yeah, it's hard
But,
to.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was true.
Kyle, the audio is so bad with the mask on. It's not
Yeah, it
working.
is.
Is it still bad?
No, I totally fixed it. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, this will work.
Like even if I can't get over that he's like, oh, I paid those actresses apparently according to what you told me, Woody. It's like, what if you were gonna hire them? Wouldn't you have a better scheme set up, a better prank instead of like, hey, watch me, I'm gonna violate this person and then we're gonna stand awkwardly for 3 seconds while I point at someone else walking by. It's like, where's
Yeah.
the cash out? Nobody's winning. You're
Yeah,
just
I
a
don't-
dick who wanted to think of a way to grab someone's ass.
I
That's
don't,
what
I
it's.
don't see it as a prank. Like, there's that one guy who drives up the fast food windows and pretends like there's no one in the car and it drives away. Who is that? I forget who he is.
I've seen the
I don't
video
know.
though. Does he
But
dress as a
it's
car
not-
seat?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's clever.
Those are pranks.
Yeah.
Or even like, all right, so actually this isn't the mask. I've got the mask in the back somewhere. But DM pranks, those guys, I think they're from Italy, who do the scary clown shit, where like they make it look like they kill somebody, or they chase people with flamethrowers, or they like, there's one where he's like dressed as like a warlock or something. These people come walking down a path in a park, and they've got this guy rigged up so they can like hoist him up, but you can't see the wires, and the warlock's like using magic to like hang this guy in the air, and they just freak people out and scare people, but. This guy's grabbing their asses. It does seem like a violation. He's not. That's some form of assault. I don't know.
Yeah, I just feel like there's an
Wants to get their ass
overreaction
broke
there.
by a scrawny Macklemore. I mean, that's just my opinion.
See, I guess you guys aren't tied into just how extreme the reaction to the butt grabbing has been, and I might be wrong here. Maybe there's people who know more about this than me, and it warranted it. But what I've heard is 2 pranks. One, he put a handcuff on a girl and asked for a kiss. Someone's touching their mic. And 2, he put a fake hand in. I don't think it was you, Kyle. He put a fake hand in and grab a butt. And both of them are inappropriate behavior. But they're talking about him like he's a real rapist.
Well, see, I don't know anything about that. I just know what has been relayed to me here about it. But
Yeah.
if the response is just that he's a creepy, probably shitty dude, then I can understand that. If he
Yes.
has been groping people for no reason, just under the auspice of a prank, which that wasn't, like that was just meant to shock people. And why do all pranks now? Why can't it be a prank like driving through the drive-thru without someone in there where somebody wins, or it's like the person getting pranked laughs? Now it's just like, I'm going to go agitate this person. Some
Yeah.
kind of action. I'm not clever enough to come up with anything else, so I have to just berate and just
Right.
fuck with people.
I'm going to be as big a dick as possible to warrant a reaction from them, instead of like, I don't know, something tricky or clever.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not pro Sam Pepper. I'm questioning whether people overreacted to a butt grab.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely doing something wrong.
He's a douche.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what crime. I don't know if it's a crime or I don't know what he's done wrong. But I wouldn't like it if he did that to somebody I knew.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't like it if someone did that to me. That's just like a thing. Like, why would you do that? Like, you just kind of.
It's a really good way to get your ass kicked on the street
Inappropriate
somewhere.
behavior. Way to get your ass kicked. These are all things I agree with. Branding him as an actual rapist and suggesting he, spend prison time in there, like,
That's
that is certainly more extreme than the response I figured people would be giving him.
yeah, that's.
But
and I don't know. Sexual predator. To me, I feel like when you hear sexual predator, probably the next thing that should pop into your head is, what kind of sexual predator? And I've said this before, but okay, way up there at the top, violent rape, kitty rape, pedophile. That's the worst of the worst. But let's say that you're the kind of sexual predator who looked at child porn, or the kind of sexual predator who looked at fake child porn, like where cartoons were drawn. That shit's illegal. But if you're looking at cartoon kitty porn, I don't put you on the same level as some, priest raping an altar boy. If you're looking at, or maybe if you're 14, or if she's 14 and he's 19, that's statutory rape, right? That's 5 years. You can't do that. But if it's consenting and, they were dating, then I see that on a different level than, the pedophile and violent rape.
Well, yeah, it's obviously on a gradient. Like
But
squeezing people's asses like that, it's really shitty. It's a mean-spirited thing to do. It's violating, but it's not the same as, molesting a child or something.
Another kind of sexual predator, someone who urinated in public, right? Like maybe they peed on a wall. Now there's like public indecency and stuff like that. And I just, is this guy a sexual predator? I guess he's on the spectrum somewhere. Like he's butt grabbing. I don't. It's confusing to me.
He's sex predator light.
Yeah, I like that.
What a label.
Yeah, he's diet sex predator.
Diet sex predator.
It's the same taste, but there's less penetration.
Sugar
But
free.
this guy does come off as a real scumbag, so I would not be surprised if proof did come out later that he had been up to other nefarious stuff.
Sure.
Like if
Or
he
he's
was just going
interviewed by
around doing
Chris
those
Hansen.
things.
Be one of those.
I don't know. I just want to see him.
Well, he should be given a fair shake.
Exactly. Yep.
Like
the tiger guy.
Like the
Just
tiger guy.
ruin his life for a year before we declare him innocent.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other tiger guy who just bowed his head wildly at him until he was eaten.
Oh, that guy. I remember him.
That poor tiger guy. Now that was a real tiger. That was a real tiger. I think we can all appreciate the difference between fake tigers and real tigers, because the real tiger will eat you and carry you away like a squeeze toy.
And the fake tigers scream out, "They're great."
Yeah, a guy in a suit is 6 feet tall and he'll fuck you. That's saying they couldn't tell the difference, because I can imagine even the most realistic of tiger suits is not going to fool me. Like if there's fucking going on, I'm gonna be like, well, look how his knees are bending. He slapped your ass. He just pulled it out and gave her what the? No, that's not a tiger. Tigers don't do that. Tigers don't get facials. You want to talk about the creepy clowns in Cali?
And sure, I didn't even hear about that. I'm interested.
All right,
I love all these new stories you guys have that I haven't heard of. It's exciting.
So it's been going on for a while, a couple months now. And I'm going to tell you what's been going on, and then I'm going to tell you what I think is actually going on. So these people have been dressing up as clowns and taking pictures of themselves, and also just being spotted in this place in California. I don't remember the town name, but it was creepy. You see them on security cameras and stuff like that, and they're often wielding pistols or knives or machetes or something, and they're creepy, and they were showing up all over town. And then it started happening in Florida, and now it's happening in France. Now, my opinion about this is, I heard someone say it was a student project of some kind, and maybe that's true. But it just so happens that American Horror Story 4's new season just started not too long ago, and it's all about freak shows, and there's a clown character. It just feels like their type of viral marketing. Like I could see that sort of thing.
I haven't heard this anywhere else. Now, I have heard the story. Let me see if I can pull it up. Clowns terrorizing.
But
Have you
clowns
been
are
watching the
creepy.
new or horror story? The clown, that clown is scary.
The
I have not
California City. Was yours in California?
It's yes.
Oh, okay, then it's the same one. All right. Yeah, so I thought that was pretty clever, Kyle. I didn't put that together with the new American Horror Story.
I could be wrong, but it just seems like it was timed around this, and I think they've done this sort of thing before. It seems like I can't remember what the news story was a while back, but it was also linked to American Horror Story. Oh, the triple-titted woman. That was them fucking with us. That wasn't real.
Oh,
That
really? That was them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was fake.
I love that. I date a chick with 3 tits. Like, sure. Like, I'll suck one and like squeeze the others. Like, that'd be great.
The others.
Yeah, it's like squeezing one and sucking one. Like that'd be great. Like you imagine the like fully automatic motorboating. Like all like.
Read my mind, man.
Like, you can't motorboat like that with 2 tits. It's
No,
like
you can't.
motorboating a 3-titted woman is the same kind of artistic beauty as playing a masterpiece only written for a piano player with 6 fingers on each hand. It just can't be done by a normal human, that kind of motorboating, and I was all for it. And then it was yanked away from me when I found out it was a viral marketing campaign. And I'm considering that this clown thing may have started in such a way and has now become sort of a thing. I feel like they're trying to make scary clowns in parks a thing, and they need to stop making it a thing before they start doing it somewhere where people have guns.
It doesn't really seem like something that you have to push that hard, though, you know? Like, clowns are already scary to a lot of people. Like, you don't need a viral campaign to, spruce that
agree.
up.
I used to date a girl that was scared of clowns, so I can agree a lot.
I think most people date a girl who's scared of clowns. Clowns are fucking scary. My girlfriend dates a guy who's scared of clowns. It's me.
What?
They're horrifying. Like, I hate clowns.
Ever since that movie came out, it started trending.
Stephen King, and there was also like one with like alien clowns, and they were all misfigured and deformed and shit. Like, yeah,
Kyle, turn the fog machine on. This is one costume that would look great with fog.
Look at that face, dude. There it is.
Ooh, eerie. He's gonna come back up as a priest, hopefully. That mealy-mouthed, rubber speech.
I wish I were that talented. James Bond, everything's new.
Let's see.
So the clown thing, was anybody hurt?
I don't think anybody's been attacked. It's more of a creepy thing. They're just being weird. Like people just show up and are just like being spotted in places dressed as clowns, and they leave. And they like stare people down on security cameras down, and just get weird and try to creep people out. It's not a violent thing. It's a creepy thing they're doing. Like they know that they're that creepy, and so they're just doing it for fun.
Then that would be a good prank.
Yeah.
Stand around in the mist and kind of scare people a little bit.
I wouldn't do it in this country, because
you're gonna get shot.
you could easily get shot, and you're kind of asking for it if you're going out there and you're literally trying to put people in fear for their lives by posing as a monster. Like you just shot him. Yeah, he thought you were a monster.
Oh, so that's how it is. You're gonna blame the victim. So
There's
just
a
because someone
short
wants to
list
dress
of
up as a
times
serial
when it's
killer
time
or a
to-
monster.
There's a very short list of times when it's okay to discharge a firearm at another entity. And one of them is if the entity is a goddamn monster. So if you go out there and you're super convincing and make people believe that you're literally a monster, then you might get shot. So I definitely wouldn't pull that kind of prank on anybody.
I agree.
Well, I think that's just very intolerant. You don't know if they've been a monster trapped in the body of a human their whole life, and now they can
I'll be right
finally
back.
express themselves as they would like.
You're so intolerant, bro. This is my true form.
Yeah.
I'm a clown trapped in a man's body, and I'm just expressing myself. That's why I'd like to go in the women's room. Wait, that's not connected. You just go with, okay, I don't want to be intolerant, clown.
Yeah. Oh, I also forgot I'm a transgender murderous clown.
I'm a transgender clown. Why do you have to be so intolerant?
Oh.
All right, Kyle, I got a question for you.
Okay.
some of my fans are curious, dude. I don't know why. If you search yourself up on Google and Wikipedia pulls you up, you are FPS Russia, correct?
Of course, yes.
Okay, some people are so confused. No, that can't be him. It doesn't sound like him. So on and so forth.
Well,
I
So
always
it's-
forget that
it's
not everybody
true
knows
now.
that.
Yeah, I mean, plain
no,
as
I
day.
as English-speaking doppelganger. This is
I
actually a
used
better
to watch
costume.
all your videos, man. This stuff was awesome.
Thank you. We're still making videos.
Still?
I did one last week with the Chris Vector. We had a
Oh,
silent
really?
Chris Vector. We blew up some clowns, had some fun. We did something with an H car a couple weeks before that. It's a semi-automatic 30-06 assault rifle. It's pretty crazy.
I think the last one I saw you in was when you were in a chopper.
Oh yeah, that was really fun. We were talking about that the other day. That was fun.
It looked fun.
Clark Kent
One-
is returning to us.
Uh-oh.
Do you need a whole new topic?
I have some. If you don't,
I do. We can go either way.
go ahead.
I'm actually going to go lay my daughter down.
All right.
That's okay.
It's her bedtime. It was nice meeting all of you guys, and thanks for having me, Woody.
Definitely
Oh,
was.
My pleasure.
Glad you came on.
All right,
Check
take
him out.
care, guys.
The race.
PhoneStars.com with a
I'm gonna be
Z.
watching.
Thanks, man.
Bye, guys.
All right, bye.
Later.
All right. Life is now fair. What is the most obvious difference?
Hmm.
The most obvious difference.
Maybe everything's cheaper because it costs. It depends. All right. Time out. The problem with your question is the word fair is subjective to interpretation. You have to define fairness before I can predict fairness.
I have to do no such thing.
Is it like a communist kind of fairness?
So I'm
of, like,
supposed to give
everything
my
gets
own
split?
personal. So my own personal view of fairness is.
Here's what I was thinking. If life was fair, then everybody would be either equally good looking or good looking people wouldn't have substantial advantages, right? If you're tall and handsome and in shape, it's easier to get promoted at work. If you're a good looking girl, I think the difference is in which the way the world views you is dramatically different. You know, if you're hot and young, like here it is. How far away from the door do you have to be before someone holds it for you, right? If you're like 50 years old and heavy, that number might be 10 feet. If you're 18 years old and beautiful, the number could be 35 feet. You know, people sit there.
I might slow down, tie my shoe, wait on you to get to a normal distance from the door, and then hold it open.
Slick move. I like that. That's
Whatever
good.
it takes.
It's good thinking.
You gotta gain your trust early, Woody. That's the key.
Yeah,
wearing
18 was too young, but make her 22 or something, and whatever. And you know, the whole world's a little nicer.
What do you do? Put her in the basement till she ripens up?
Yeah, I call it the farm league. You know, like she's a AA player, and when she's ready to come out and play in the majors, she leaves the basement and enters the bed. So my number one difference: life is fair now. I think, you know, regardless of how handsome or beautiful you are, you get treated based on what's on the inside.
But is that fair? Technically,
I
like
don't
if you
think
work your
so.
ass
No.
off to be in good shape and maintain yourself, then it is fair for you to get certain allotments of, you know, respect for that. Whereas if you just don't bathe, don't brush your teeth, just don't take care of yourself at all, then you do in a way deserve some of those, you know, derisive comments or what have you, or just lessened opportunities or anything like that.
That's
I
an
agree.
effective counterpoint, I think. Although I will say, you know, some of the things that might make someone less appealing are not their fault.
True.
Some things, you know, some people just, there's like facial structure and stuff like that. And the other is age. You know, if you're 66 years old, there's not much you can do to stay hot.
No, there's nothing.
Yeah,
It's over.
Helen Mirren's pretty hot.
I know there's gonna be those exceptions, right?
There's
Like,
No, not really though. Not really.
Who?
She's pretty damn good for how old she is. Lucy Liu's 46.
For how old she is.
yeah, that's the thing.
But-
There's a couple exceptions. Lucy Liu is one. Mary
46.
Louise Parker, is that the girl's name from Weeds?
Yeah, saw a recent photo of her. It looks great. Her ass is
Well,
just.
Lucy Liu is Asian, so she gets like an extra decade and a half, you know, leniency there.
31.
Mary Louise Parker, she looks amazing. But by and large, let's just admit, you know, that's the 1%. Most people, the other 99%, just
Yeah.
Like it or not, you've aged. But yeah, I do see your point too. There is other stuff that's totally within your control.
If we had to start splitting resources, it would be mind-boggling just how much less we got if we were defining fairs like everybody gets the same percentage of the world's resources. Like we would get shit compared to what we get now.
As a computer programmer, I feel like I already started to see that. So,
dude, I got a quick interjection. Someone explained the other day that the average human being is like a 32-year-old Chinese man who's never driven a car and has less than like $30 or something like that. Like if you level that playing field, it gets rough.
Okay, you're right. It does get rough. But sometimes people on my channel will ask me like what they want to do for a living and things like that. On the like forefront of outsourcing, of course, is manufacturing. That gets a lot of press. But the other thing is tech jobs. You know, the tech job industry in China and in India and in Russia, Bulgaria, these places have launched because people find it really easy to just, you know, instead of paying an American programmer, whatever, like 150 grand a year, they can get one who works for 30 grand a year in India. And what happens is that, like, you know, your wages go down and their wages go up, and you find a global leveling of the playing field. Not quite level. I mean, you still earn more in America, and it's better. But shucks, when I think of jobs that I would recommend to my kids, I try to find stuff that's not easily outsourceable. You know, be a dentist, be a speech therapist, be a
garbage man.
A garbage man. You know, be something that's definitely going to happen where the money is, and America has money. You know, there's a tremendous amount of money in this country, and you know, try to find a job where people need to pay for it locally. They can't just ship it to China or whatever. So anyway, life is fair. That global standard of living, if it evened out, that would be fair. But as an American, you wouldn't like it.
I don't think it would be
very
fair.
displeased.
I don't think that would be fair because I feel like people are where they are because they earned it in many cases, or they took it. You're fair. Like I said, fair is
subjective. It's a really good point. Countries are where they are because they earned it or took it or created it or made it happen. You know, Americans take, you know, we as workers sometimes are like, why do we get less vacation than anyone else in the world? But our country's also doing pretty well. Maybe it's because they fucking work you to death here. What was I going to say? You know, the reason that America does well is probably not because of us, but it's because of what Americans have been doing over the last 2 centuries.
Agreed. And the same is probably true for some of those poor countries, too. You're just shitty.
Yeah, right? Like
shitty little bitch country.
If you're from a poor country...
Can't pronounce it, Stan.
But that's a perfect example. You know, if you're from can't pronounce it, Stan, or you know need to be a Raidistan, need to be Invadistan or something, whatever you are, then you're probably let's just go Afghanistan. You know, they haven't been doing the kinds of things over the last couple hundred years that would make them successful. Don't blame Russia. Don't blame U.S.
They're becoming much more progressive. I saw recently a landmark case, it was described there, where the 10-year-old girl who was raped, they actually punished the rapist, and they didn't accuse her of adultery and kill her.
Really? Even though she was looking all sexy?
It was a landmark case, because under Sharia law, if a rape happens, then both parties are guilty of adultery.
That's unbelievably archaic. That's awful.
I love that she was... Oh, wait, I was about to say I love that she was 10, but it's especially extreme because she was 10. You know, really, she's 10? They finally found a case where they could draw a line in the sand and say, you know what, maybe it wasn't her fault.
He raped her in the mosque. He tried to escape and he drug her back in and raped her. And his defense was that you know, she was guilty too. Like it was just adultery, and they're like, no, she's 10.
Someone like that, just execute him. Just execute him and be done with it.
But that was a landmark case. That's a new thing for them. New ground they're crossing over there by saying that 10-year-old rape victims are rape victims. So good on them for being so progressive.
All right. So what's the obvious difference to you guys? Pick one. If life is fair.
and with my definition of fairness, well, I'm the emperor of the world, of course, because I have so many good ideas. Everyone came to their senses and just, put me in charge. We got rid of Australia. No reason. We just got rid of it. We sunk it.
Pandas
Set
are
an
extinct.
example for all the other island nations.
We made we took all the hot Australians, which is about 60%. We brought them over here. We put them in the
include
Midwest.
dudes?
They could use the help, and the rest of them we just left over there to be devoured by the tarantulas and
Crocodiles.
the sharks and such. I don't feel like those. I see those people destroying the Great Barrier Reef. I don't like that. We could get rid of them. Start there.
I would go around and make it so that every country as a whole, I would go and sample their wares or whatever, and they'd have to show me, like, this Bulgarian cake is the best fucking cake out there. And if they did it, and I was like, that's a really good cake, you're doing good shit here, then they could keep their country. But if not, then they would be absorbed into whatever close country was being successful, so they could pass on their success.
So you
Like-
judge national success by their cakes.
Well, that's just one example. Like, if they were great with guns, they could show a gun. If they were excellent bakers, they could show me that. You just pick the one thing that you're really good at.
Really? So what would America would kill you? You'd be like, show me one thing that you excel in. Pow.
Yeah.
I would well, if you look closely at that thing, that's our space station. We paid
And then-
for that.
And I don't know. Maybe we would absorb Canada. Maybe they wouldn't be able to cut it.
I saw a thing on Reddit the other day, and someone was trying to. They were talking about off-road vehicles, and I think they were trying to say that, like, I don't even know what it was. It was a Mercedes. They were trying to say that the Mercedes SUV was the best, and they were like, they listed a few others, and they got to the Chevy, and they were like, oh, it's an American shit box. American engineering is so unsophisticated. And then the guy it was 4chan actually. The guy immediately replies back with, yeah, so unsophisticated, and it's the fucking space shuttle. But yeah, I'd be emperor of the world. Merca would judge people by their wares. But yeah, America definitely exports death and destruction and
Fun.
gadgets and entertainment. Like
Yeah, entertainment. That's all we would have to show. Be like,
Yeah.
every movie you've ever
Tom
seen. and
Cruise.
enjoyed.
That's what you. Merca would show up and to the capital to Washington D.C. and you'd roll Tom Cruise out and that would be what
With
you
no
do.
shirt on at 50 something. You'd
Yeah.
be like, well, fuck, you guys are good at something.
Yeah. But the point is, we're cutting the fat. We're cutting out the needless countries. Madagascar, no. You can be something else. You can be West Chile or wherever it is. Gotta make sure that we're trimming the fat. I want to get it down to like 11 countries, each that are great at something.
11 countries in the world?
Eastern Europe, no. No, that's West Russia.
Well, what do we do about Mexico and Canada?
Mexico.
You're thinking of North and South America.
Yes.
Do
exactly
we want
right.
that? Do we want Mexico though?
We would straighten them out. You know what? As badass as what are the Mexican cartels, right? As badass as the cartels are, and trust me,
Have you ever seen a local police force? Have you seen what they have? Like that's all you do.
no, United States Marines, right? I'm sorry, cartel. I get it. You're very tough and you're ruthless and you do stuff that sickens me to see pictures of on the internet. I get it. You're next level. But there's another level still, and you haven't gone against the United States Marines. They would
Well,
turn
what would
your...
Mexico's wear be? Their practice or their trade?
Diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
marijuana.
Cocaine.
No, because they're
Cocaine?
not even doing it as well as like
Yeah,
the
they're just-
people in
actually-
Colorado.
My
who are
bad.
making
Yeah,
weed.
no. It wouldn't be
it's-
marijuana. It'd have to be
they're not-
cocaine.
Well, it's not cocaine though, because the cocaine's coming from South America, from Colombia. It's just passing through Mexico.
See, now we're making this case. We can either absorb
What is Mexico?
ourselves, or we can give them like to Brazil.
I say we give them to like Honduras. Those Hondurans are hardworking people. They got that tiny country down there. Let them be in charge for a while.
Are they really? All right. Well, maybe we'll make Honduras a lot bigger. Because see, it's not going to all be expected things like Eastern Europe goes to
Russia.
Fucking Russia. There's going to be some surprises, some big ones. Maybe there's no more France at all.
Oh, there would be no more France at all.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Frenchies.
Oh, we export assholes.
Yeah. But all those little nonsense countries that are, like You can fit 10 of them in one state in the U.S. Those are gone.
You
Sorry.
don't know. You don't
Micro-
know. Like I think some of those European countries are quite nice. Like it. I'm gonna screw up my European geography, and they're all gonna give me shit. But I'm sure there are little countries with amazing ski slopes who would be effective at running something larger.
Switzerland would be
Switzerland comes to mind.
Yeah, those Nazi-loving fuckers. We gotta find something negative to say about all of them. I mean, what do you want to talk about? Swiss Army
Who's
knives?
the neutral people? Sweden.
Switzerland.
Switzerland. You say they're Nazi loving, huh?
Yeah, totally.
Didn't the Nazis threaten to invade Switzerland? Aren't they or was it? Am I mixing them up with Finland or something? Where they were like, there's a million of us and there's 500,000 of you. He's like, well, we'd shoot twice and go home.
If
I'm
it was
not
a
sure
country
what we're
around there
talking
at the time, they were probably threatened.
I'd say everybody got a little threat from Hitler at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Switzerland. I think they do well on the world stage with a bigger land plot to manage. There's a few of the Icelanders somewhere up there. Don't they have they're like running on pig shit and wind and solar now, like 90% or something? Like
Iceland is irrelevant. They're Hawaii too.
Oh, I like it.
Go to
Hawaii too.
Hawaii too.
I could live with that.
Electric Boogaloo.
I would like that if we owned Iceland. I mean, it's right there, right? Or is that Greenland? Yeah, Greenland. That's what we need. The one that's right there, in
The
between
big
us.
one is Greenland. The little one is Iceland.
We should take Greenland. I think we should. I honestly feel that way. I feel like the United States should be in charge of Greenland. I think that would make us a stronger presence in the world. I think we
If we're
should go
going
ahead
to take
and
Canada
absorb
anyway, we might as well group it together with Greenland.
Yeah, and Iceland, really. What has Iceland brought us aside from the bad guy team in Mighty Ducks 2?
You
Nothing.
don't want Canada. If we wanted Canada, then that border would be a little bit further north. Like we took all we wanted. Like we were like, how much do you want, Jim? Well, I don't want anything north of here. Yeah, me either. Who the fuck would want that?
We should
Canadian,
take the whole
yeah,
West Coast, though.
See how it's going, eh?
Just take the West Coast and connect Alaska. I like it.
Well, there's already a highway that goes there. I guess you could own the whole thing.
Yeah, I think
I
it'd
would
be
let
nice.
Canada exist on their own because of hockey. So the best thing of that, so they have some.
Yeah, if we took it over, we'd ruin hockey.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna. We can't let that happen.
I don't know that we'd ruin it.
We might.
We can play.
We might. Yeah, when they send teams away from like Edmonton into San Antonio or wherever else.
Yeah, as soon as Dallas buys one of your prize Canadian hockey teams, you're going to be singing a different tune.
Well, Dallas already has the Stars.
The Canadians ride out with cowboy hats on and shit.
Did the Stars come from Minnesota though?
They were the Minnesota North Stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Woody, what would your favorite thing be again? I completely
think
forgot
I
the
said
question.
I had something to do with
with.
it didn't matter how good looking you were treated the
Oh,
same,
no.
and then it evolved into countries taking each other over and stack ranking nations around the world, calling them shitty.
Yeah.
Well, some of them are shitty. They're just, they're just not getting it done.
Yeah.
What was
it's
your
true.
topic, Kyle?
The oil spill. I wanted to talk about how shitty BP is. So, scientists have discovered yet another unforeseen effect of BP's historic oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. A 1,235 square mile, quote-unquote, bath? They misspelled bathtub. Nice job. Bathtub ring of oil, bathub. It's literally bathub. Bat hub? No, they misspelled it. Bathtub ring of oil on the deep ocean's floor. Research published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science on Monday showed that approximately 10 million gallons of oil settled and coagulated on the floor of the Gulf near the Deepwater Horizon rig, which spilled a total of 172 million gallons of oil into the ocean in April of 2010. That oil left a footprint on the ocean floor about 2 times the size of the city of Houston, Texas, and approximately the size of the state of Rhode Island, the study says. Study author David Valentine told the Associated Press that tests to determine the oil's chemical signature were not performed because the oil has degraded in the 4.5 years since the spill occurred, but also said it's obvious where the oil is from since it settled directly around the site of the damaged oil rig. BP disputes the claim, telling FuelFix that the researchers need to chemically identify the source of the oil before they can credibly blame the company.
As they should.
Are you hearing this?
You know, there were a lot of oil spills in this area at the time. How do you know it was me?
Like, this thing exploded and shot 10 billion gallons of oil out or whatever, and it's all settled underneath it, and they're like, prove it. That would be like if you showed up and the house was burning down and the people are shot outside and the guy's holding a can of gas, some matches, and a gun. And he's like, prove it. like it's clear it was you, mother. He's like, you got any fingerprints? Well, no, it doesn't seem to be. Oh, prove it. You got to prove that's my gun. It's not my gun. No, it's totally their fucking oil. They're such cocksuckers.
Do whatever they want. They can just walk up and be like, yeah, I was taking a look at some of that oil. Not mine. Well, I mean, it did come from your company. Yeah, nah, that's somebody else's oil. Like, there's no reason they should be able to get away with this.
It's ridiculous to argue that oil could have come from some other source, and they're saying that like many of the long-term effects are difficult to figure out because it's hard to do a 4-year study on, like slow-acting cancers that the oil may have caused in the wildlife and issues with the wildlife's fitness and what it's done to the coral and what that does to the ecosystem and such. And BP.
What if it was an elaborate, setup by like Chevron? They're like bastard, like dumping their own oil down there.
Might have been. You could have made a killing in the stock market.
This, forgive me because I don't know what I'm talking about here. But is it possible that it's not that big of a deal? Like, so oil exists in the environment. It does, and there's here. So no one knows that it's me saying this ridiculous shit. Oil exists in the environment. It is underground. That's where it came from. There's bacteria that breaks down this oil and turns it into whatever seafood or seaweed food or something. And nature can deal with little oil spills that happen. Now, this was extreme. It was man-made. We pulled the cork out and broke it in a way that wouldn't have happened otherwise. But it's been 4 years. How many years does it take? Like, I remember 6 months in or something like that, they were like, hey, look, this bacteria that breaks down oil exists in this area in much greater quantities than it did before the oil spill, which makes sense, right? If suddenly, there's a lot of rabbits, then there's going to be a lot of coyotes because they'll have an easy time finding food and that species will flourish. Could it be
you could say that same argument like, oh, well, there's blood in your body. What's to say there's anything wrong with having it spurt out of your neck and all over yourself?
I don't think that's a very good parallel. I'm just saying that nature kind of adjusts to imbalances, whether they be oil or live or wildlife or whatever. Could it be that this area has recovered by now and we're ready to let it go or not?
So nature does usually find an equilibrium when there are natural disasters, but this seems like a real different kind of man-made disaster that wouldn't happen in nature with so much oil in such a large area, like spilling out. Like it's way down. The reason that they're out there is because it's so fucking hard to get to this oil. It's way down beneath the ocean floor. They had to build a rig and drill deep within the ground to get to it. It doesn't just randomly, you don't usually get 10 million gallon oil spills just cropping up. I think it's a big deal. There's a picture here of like some coral dying and this poor starfish like grabbing onto the coral, and it looks pitiful. But who knows?
Right? Yeah. How new is that picture? I know for a fact, or at least I read for certain, that the bacteria that breaks down oil is already, started to flourish there, and it's breaking down the oil, and it's bringing, the thing back to equilibrium. And sure, a terrible thing happened, and sure, they should be fined what was it, 2 billion, 20 billion? I forget what they had to pay. It's terrible, but at some point, do you let it go and be like, all right, there's a bathtub ring stain of oil, that'll get taken care of too, or not? I don't know.
I just don't know how much impact that has, because I know there are studies that have shown like fish food in that area and even in surrounding areas for like hundreds of miles, thousands of miles.
I was wrong about the amount of oil. It's
just unhealthy for you now.
210 million gallons of oil. That's what it was.
Yeah, more than a dash. It seems like you can't add that much of anything to that like big of an area without changing something.
So
I don't-
okay, I've got something that kind of responds to your thoughts here.
Okay.
This says BP thinks the massive amount of oil from the disaster, like the Exxon Valdez, is comparable to the oil released from natural seeps in the Gulf floor. The hard truth, as deep sea researcher Dr. Samantha Joy points out, is that the Gulf seafloor releases about 0.04 million gallons of oil and gas a day through tiny cracks all over the Gulf of Mexico. BP, on the other hand, released 2.5 million gallons of oil every day for 87 days in a concentrated area of the Gulf. She shows that microbes were not equipped to digest a significant portion of the gas released into the Gulf. BP must have missed a critical study by researchers at the University of South Florida, who predicted and later confirmed that BP oil swept up by underwater currents was found across the Gulf of Mexico, just off the coast of Tampa, Florida. According to scientists, the oil that landed on the West Florida shelf, which extends into the Gulf, is likely to stay there a long time. And then it goes into effect about coral and short-lived organisms and the bottom of the Gulf, and goes on in detail for a while.
Seems like it's quite the mess, according to what you read. I guess the microbes are what I was talking about, right? The microbes break it down. I know they were existing in increased numbers compared to what they were before the oil spill.
That's BP's scientist, though.
Maybe you're right.
Those are like
I don't know.
the old, Lucky Strikes doctors that they paid. Like, just tell them to smoke Luckies. It's fine.
Yes.
Like, they're just hired, scientists.
There's some health benefits.
There are some. Good for your throat.
Well, look at those dolphins. Now they're all lubricated. They swim faster.
Yeah.
It's cutting through the water like a cruiser. Oh, that's. I really hate those. And I don't remember how much money of how much they get in tax subsidies, but it was such a huge amount, and they were explaining that a lot of that went into their advertising, and it's just shitty. We're paying them to brainwash Americans in a sense.
That irritates me a lot. It seems like the oil guys are more politically connected than any other industry I can think of. Maybe military is equally as connected, and they thrive and get so many breaks and so many advantages because of nothing fair. They just whatever. You can't win elections unless I give you money, so I'll give you $1 million if you give me 10 million back. Bam. That describes the donation system. And it's shit. Well, I'm feeling down. Anyone have a topic?
I'm
sad.
Well, we could talk about the movie this week and how that also made everyone feel sad that watched it. Gone Baby Gone.
I liked the movie. I talked about it forever in PKN, but most people haven't seen that by now. It was good. It made me feel sad. I cared about the characters. It's the opposite of Borderlands, which I don't give a fuck if the moon stays or goes. But in Gone Baby Gone, I really wanted the characters to do well. And the main character, Ben Affleck's brother, what's his name? Matt?
Casey.
Casey.
Yeah. He was surprisingly badass, and I thought he pulled it off. What'd you say?
He wishes his brother's name was Matt. Matt Damon's like his best friend in the world.
Oh.
Everybody thinks they're gay together. Some people do. It's kind of never mind.
Ship them. Yeah, anyway, Casey did a great job, and he was playing sort of a semi-badass character, and I thought that he pulled it off.
Yeah. I was suggesting that maybe next we watch The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. Kind of a spoiler right there in the title, but okay. And I may be misremembering this, but I think Brad Pitt maybe plays Jesse James, and Casey Affleck plays Robert Ford.
I'll watch it. I'm down for a Western.
Pardon?
What's that movie called? The Assassination of
Who Jesse by who? By the coward Robert Ford, something like that. So really, it's a mouthful.
Yeah. Good God, that was poor decision by that PR team.
That's what I was thinking too. Like whoever's in their marketing, like you couldn't have shortened a little bit. Why don't you make it Jesse James and then just put Brad Pitt on the cover with a scraggly beard and a pistol in his hand? You got a winner. Instead, they had to get fancy with it.
Brad Pitt was excellent in Fury. I saw that last night.
Oh, you liked it?
I thought it was good. It was pretty long, but I liked the way they handled deaths in it, as opposed to a lot of movies where they'll just like have a long protracted scene, which they kind of did for Brad Pitt. But and spoilers starting a little bit ago for everyone. And when all the other characters die,
Taylor fucking did it again. He's like...
Really? So when the main character dies, tell me more about that.
Yeah, spoilers starting a little bit ago.
Yeah, if you can't watch this movie and figure out that people are dying within the first, like, I don't know, 90 seconds, then God help you. But, yeah, so in the final scenes, like, when people are dying, I like how it's not some, like, and, like, falling. It's just, like, boom, done. Like,
It's like, boom, and they're all like, oh, my God, Merca died. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's like death and then observation. There isn't a ton of, like, you know, oh, they got me. Oh, no, Esther, I'm coming to join you. Like,
and it's not even like a noticing cognizantly of like that person is now dead. It's like just in the fury of the moment, you're just kind of like, oh shit, everything's happening so fast, I can't even process this. Like just the way it really would be. I assume. I haven't been to war.
Yeah,
Hope
neither
to
have
never
I.
go.
I mean, I played a lot of Call of Duty.
It's just as good.
Yeah, died 10,000 times, probably more.
I got a lot of time in there.
Yeah, very good film.
Yeah, it was a good film. You know, I'd like to see a Vietnam film.
Yeah, not very many of those.
Yeah.
What's a good Vietnam movie?
Have you seen The Thin Red Line and Platoon?
Yes, but I want to see a new one because I feel like when Platoon came out in the 80s, we were still in the afterglow. It'd be like making an Iraq War movie now. Like, no, too soon. I need you to make an Iraq War movie like 30 years from now when we properly reflected and looked back on the thing for what it was.
And some of the cooler stuff gets declassified.
And cooler
Yeah,
stuff
and when
gets
the actors are going in like, aha, look at all these weapons, and they're like, and they just take them out.
That'd be funny if it turned out that they really found like millions of liters of sarin nerve gas and like rockets filled with VX aimed at like neighboring countries and like and they just snuck all that out and like swept it under the rug. Someone did. I don't know who would stand again.
Yeah. When did Full Metal Jacket come out? That was a good movie.
Yeah, that's Stanley Kubrick. I don't know when that came out. I really don't.
Was it the 90s maybe sometime?
No.
I think it was 80s. Maybe even like late 70s.
Yeah, it's late 70s,
87.
early 80s if I had to guess.
87.
Okay. I like the first half of that movie, and I don't care for the second half. Like when I like Boot Camp. When they actually go to Nam, I don't like it.
I like both. I like the first half more, but I like both. I like the whole movie. I want to see a Vietnam movie with the reflection of 2014, 2015.
Yeah, I'd watch that. I like war movies in general. We Were Soldiers was pretty good. That was a pretty good Vietnam movie. You see that with Mel Gibson?
I have not seen that.
Oh, I did see that. That was pretty good. Yeah, it starts off with a little religious talk, and yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it's about the cavalry. Mel Gibson is like a captain or something like that, or maybe even higher up, a colonel or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they get surrounded. It's a true story.
Yeah, basically they get helicopter dropped into a field where they're gonna engage in battle, and the enemy was much bigger and much more formidable than they had expected. And they so then they get more backups, but the other side just had more and more and more. And I think in the end, the Americans did really well in KD ratio, but I don't know. I think we lost that actual battle, right?
We fucked them up that battle. We piled them high. They brought they came in.
We lost the land, right?
No, we ran them out of there and burnt them up.
Is that how it ended? Okay. Spoilers.
I want to say even the end of the movie is them like coming in there with like choppers and just really raining hellfire down on that their like bases and their the village and everything, and then they've got like Vietnamese guys piled like super high, like all the dead, and they leave. I mean, it wasn't.
To me,
really
the end of the movie is they get like helevaced out, but their KD ratio was amazing. And I could be wrong.
Well, they definitely left. Like, they weren't fighting for the ground there anyway, I don't think. I don't know what was going on. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I think they retreated and ran away, but got a lot more kills than deaths.
The thing that I remember from it is when they accidentally drop calling the guy calls in an airstrike, and he calls it in like in the wrong position, and he napalms a bunch of Americans, and that was gruesome. Like there's a part where a guy tries to grab another American by his legs and like drag him out, and then like the legs are burnt badly with napalm, and the flesh just pulls off of the bone like a chicken wing. You know how some people eat chicken wings to like push all the meat off the bone? Like that happened to his shins, and the guy's just like, "Argh!" And he's just like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry." It's bad. Like you almost laugh, but then it's just gruesome. It's really bad. Napalm was some nasty stuff.
It's like a flaming gel, right?
Yeah. Sticks to you, burns.
Yeah, that's some messed up stuff. Napalm. Ugh. Can you even get it off yourself once it's on there? Like you're pretty much fucked, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything.
I think you can get it off if you're covered in it. It's the thing, and it sticks to trees. It sticks to everything. It sticks to stuff that
Kyle, I saw you shake it off, right? Like you did.
Yeah,
you got it on your hand. You did sort of one of these deals, right? And like flick it off.
Yeah, it was clinging to me like a booger or something. Like it's on there, but you can get it off. Like you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. It's fun. It's fun to play with, but I would hate to get some on me.
I don't know anyone
that was
who.
terrifying.
I know 2 people in my life who've used a flamethrower. Kyle's half of them, and both of them are like, no, given the opportunity to use one again right now, no, thank you. No, not that I regret doing it, but I have the experience. I feel lucky to have escaped mostly unharmed, and let's call it a win.
That's exactly how I feel. I would do it again, especially if I was paid to do so. But I would not volunteer to do it. Like I said, if there were some guys out there playing with one, they're like, "Hey, your turn." Nope. you take my turn. I'm all good. You pull the trigger and it feels like your head's in an oven. It's just so fucking hot. The one I had was leaking everywhere, dripping on me.
Another common experience.
It was. I had napalm on my hand. I had napalm on my shoes. It was dripping on the ground, and like there were puddles of napalm I was having to like walk around and stuff. It was a real thing. And they wanted me to wear this goddamn like gorilla mask for the video too. I was like, it's gonna melt to my face. No, it was not fun.
Yeah, Did you know in the military they wear cotton for that reason?
They wear what?
So, it's my understanding, based on movies, that when they go into war, they wear cotton shirts and they can't wear polyester stuff. And like the character in the movie was like, "Oh my God, there's so much to know," because her husband was deploying for the first time, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that cotton shirt thing though, that's for real because cotton, if it gets really hot like that, just tends to get hot or whatever, or it could maybe possibly burn. But polyester, it turns into like a melty plastic." And that's why they don't wear that. So you can't show up in war with like lycra blends and spandex and stuff because it doesn't handle. Yeah, no Under Armour. It doesn't burn properly. Well, it doesn't. It's dangerous in fire.
It melts.
Yeah, and that's
sticks to you.
That's a mess for the medics to like help you when you've got melty spandex in your skin.
Yeah, women's pantyhose can be like that too. I've seen demonstrations of those going up, and it's not pretty. Yeah.
So I'm preoccupied with new house thoughts. I know the one time we did house talk way too long, but
you're almost done now, right?
So we did the inspection, and there were no showstoppers, but it was a 94-page long inspection. What it is
it's ridiculous.
It's a very big house, and it's not a new house, so there's going to be a lot of stuff to say. But he still did a bad job. So I don't know much about real estate. I'm not an expert. And what I needed from my inspector was sort of all right, Woody, this is what you need to get from the sellers. Like, these are the things I'd push for, and these are the things I wouldn't back down on. Instead, the signal to noise ratio in this report was a nightmare. It was just like every like interior door that kind of stuck on the jamb was, like he'd call that out with pictures and, bullet points and like just everything was such a big deal to him. Like, I'm trying to do business here. I hired you as an advisor on like what needs to be fixed. And instead I got a bullshit report of 94 pages long of everything you saw in the house. It wasn't good. So, But I went through it with a fine-tooth pen, a highlighter, and talked, figured out all the things I needed to get done, and I sent it to my agent today. So it'll be what it is. But I think I'm gonna get this house tomorrow. I meet septic inspection, sometime soon termite inspection, and then that's the end of it, and we wrap it up. I don't think there's any termites. The home inspector probably would have seen them.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's awesome. I was a little worried something was going to come back, but I guess you pretty much know you're getting this thing for sure.
Did I tell you
now.
about the Time Warner thing?
Yeah. I don't think you said it on the show though.
And in fast forward, usually, well, in an area like mine, you can get high-speed cable, right? The high-speed internet via the cable company. You just have to pay. In some places, whatever, the line's running right outside your house and it's free installation. In a place like where I'm getting, with lots of land, you have to pay for it. And they came up with a route to my house that would have cost $13,000 for the internet connection, which, is okay. Like when you're buying a house, you just build that into the cost of it. Bam. And make sure that, you can I consider the house to be 13 more than I paid the seller. Bam. Because I had to have it. Well, the other day I went and I thought I routed a better way for the cable line to go. Like it could come from a different place. And I talked to them and it looks really positive. They're going to go out there with boots on the ground and confirm that it can be done. But they said it'd be less than half. So I maybe saved $8,000 or so. And I'm pretty happy that I put some time into it. So,
yeah, that's great. I think I've told the story before, but they promised me fiber here,
mm-hmm.
and we went so far as to offering literally doing it for them, like literally digging the ditch, laying the fiber, connecting it on our end, and just basically running it to where it needed to be ran, and being like, here's the loose end, attach it, and
mm-hmm.
they wouldn't let us do that. So there's just, I really hate my ISP.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at you in the fog, thinking, like not fog literally, but like your picture's all broken up and choppy, and it's like it stinks. It stinks. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so. It is 14 down and like 2 up. It still should look better than this. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know what we can do to improve it.
I don't know.
Well, this is an interesting article you just posted.
I have to. I don't know what it would cost, but I'm sure it can be done. We were talking to some Triad gigabit Ethernet or gigabit fiber company around here, and for the right price, I could have gotten 100 gigabits at the last house. It's just that price would have been like 6 digits, but they weren't too far away. I don't know. I'm surprised it can't be done if it's close enough for you to run it yourself.
That's the thing. I'm not sure that it is. I know that they've got it like a quarter of a mile away or so. But I'm
mile.
Yeah.
Wow. That's totally doable.
Maybe I'm wrong about that distance. I don't know. It's where that school. I don't want to get too descriptive, but in any case, it's not too far away. The next place I get will definitely have some good internet. Like that's going to be it's going to go price and then internet on my decision for the new place. I want 50 by 10 or something better. Like 50 by 20 or something like that. Like I really want the upload. I really want 10, 20 upload so I could do multiple streams, so I could do anything and everything I could possibly want.
You just define it as a showstopper, right? Like, look, I can't move into a place unless it has this or that, and boom. Just like you wouldn't move into a place if it didn't have the lot you expected or the neighbors you expected or whatever. It's got to have it. Or water, right? It's got to have electricity. It's got to have water. It's got to have internet. That's how it was for me. I couldn't live without it. Woman sets roommate on fire because he threw away her meatballs.
Tell me more.
I'll read. This is my first time seeing this. Don't mess with 33-year-old Melissa Dawn Sellers' meatballs. Takes her Italian cuisine very seriously, as her 42-year-old roommate Carlos Ortiz Jr. found out. After a night of drinking, the two roommates began fighting at around 2:30 a.m. The two were arguing because apparently Carlos threw out Melissa's spaghetti and meatballs, which I guess she was obviously having a craving for. Instead of just getting over it like a rational human being, the Florida woman poured nail polish remover all over her roommate's upper body and ignited him with a lighter or cigarette.
Ugh.
I'm scared that she knew nail polish remover was flammable because I had no idea. But then again, I come into contact with nail polish once a year, so I'm honestly not that familiar with the product.
Very flammable.
A friend who had seen the incident unfold stated that when Ortiz stood up after being burned, as if his face was melting off, because that's not a horrifying mental image. This isn't written very well. Ortiz was taken to the hospital where he is in critical condition with burns to his face, chest, and shoulders. Melissa has been charged with aggravated battery, and judging by her mugshot, she meant to do that damage to him. She has the evil grin on her face. I don't trust it.
Ugh, she's a big fatty who obviously loves meatballs and couldn't handle the fact that these meatballs got away from her maw.
I'm gonna burn your face off.
She burns this. Yeah, she should go to prison for the rest of her life because she's a sociopath.
If that mole was on her nose instead of her cheek, she'd be a proper witch.
She is a witch. God, what a terrible thing to do to another human being for such. And like the rest of that guy's life is pretty much ruined now, all because he threw out some more than likely, like bad meatballs that only this pig would eat anyway.
I don't know why you're knocking her cooking skills. She knows her way around a kitchen.
Yeah,
she probably knows her way to restaurants and other people's kitchens. But
he's probably not that badly burned. I wouldn't imagine. Like I don't.
He got
melting.
hospitalized though, right?
Oh, he's got some burns, but I doubt he looks like the Red Skull now or anything. Like he's not he's not ruined.
It's gonna be noticeable. It's enough to ruin his life, probably.
I don't know. Just because there's so little fuel, I'm just not sure. Maybe. I don't know. So it definitely wouldn't like to get set on fire by that crazy lady with nail polish or anything else.
Yeah, what should the punishment be? You're the emperor of the world still, Kyle, and you get to dole out punishments.
I would need to know more about the situation, but if it were the worst case scenario in which she was really hateful and vindictive about it, and it was a trivial thing, and this all stemmed from, and she had like prior, there was evidence of prior situations where she'd been extremely cruel like this, death.
Death.
Look at her mugshot.
Nice.
I'm the emperor of the world.
No, I'm look, who am I to argue with
You
the
want to
emperor
go
of the
next,
world?
Woody? Is that what you're looking for here?
No, I was agreeing with you. I
was your taxes.
Yeah, you have to agree very vehemently with the emperor. You can't even just passively agree.
Lots of bows, wide eyes, smiles. That's really creepy on Merkazin. The wide eyes thing is. Oh yeah, that's the worst. When you smile on top of the wide eyes, that's the worst.
Yeah, it's like raccoon eyes.
Yeah, don't forget to take that off. Your neighbors will shoot you.
And when Worker showed up with that makeup, I was very excited because in the text he was like, "Well, I'll see if I can do anything. No promises." And then he shows up and he's rocking his costume. It's very good. I was pleasantly surprised.
Calling it a costume is a little generous for my face being done with 2 candles here.
Your skeleton Merca. That's your costume.
No, it works for me. I think I think it's very good. It's very good.
Superman is better than I thought it would be. While we're giving out compliments to one another.
Oh, my own or?
Yes, yours.
I exceeded your apparently low expectations.
No, because that's not bad, man. Like the tie there.
I had to I was bringing up reference pictures for the hair. I kept having the this thing. I thought it was right by the part, and it kept looking wrong. And then I realized, aha, it's deeper in the head, and I started breaking out the product, and that's what I came up with.
It's good, very good.
I got another link there. You want to take that one?
You want me to read it?
Either way.
Man charged with animal cruelty after having gentle sexual intercourse with pet beagle. Jesus Christ.
He looks like a nice guy. I'm willing to take a
word in there.
Man has been charged with animal cruelty after what he called gentle sexual intercourse with his pet beagle called Piglet. Johnny Bogus from Miami, Florida, of course, was arrested after an animal rights group tipped off the police that the 47-year-old man had been having sex with his dog. But according to authorities, Bogus defended the act, saying it was okay because Piglet was more than 40 pounds and had been spayed, adding that he had gentle sexual intercourse. Bogus stated that after he finished having intercourse, he held Piglet, petted her, and told her that he loved her. County State Trooper N.M. Manalokas told the Charleston Daily Mail. Bogus later claimed that he wished he hadn't had sex with his pet beagle and that he was drunk. But one neighbor didn't believe him. He's done this before, with animals before, so it's no shock. Welcome
he
to
even
Florida.
had a rule. Like, well, it's over 40 pounds. That's the rule. Unlike the divide your age and add 7 for animals, it's like add 5 and add 15 pounds. All right, I can do it. But can you imagine if the picture on there, they're like, here's a picture of Piglet the Beagle, and it's a guy clearly in a mascot costume, just like the other one.
I forgot that I have a picture of Piglet the Beagle for the viewing audience.
Yeah, it's here. It's definitely not a man in a suit, like the other one.
Oh, I'm sorry. In the caption, it does say that it's not this one. This is just a sample beagle. It's not the actual beagle Piglet. I was under the impression that since it was with the article that it would be Piglet, but it's not.
Yeah, I've heard your argument about this whole thing before, Woody, where you're like, if you want to, have sex with a rhino, go for it, because if it does not want you there, you will not be there long, because it's a rhino. But when you're grabbing like a chicken or a little dog or something, it's like, oh, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Not that there's nothing wrong with you if you do want to have sex with a lion, tiger, bear.
And I would argue, let's say you're having sex with a little dog, but you're the receiver. That's consenting as well. Knock yourself out.
Oh.
Oh,
God, this guy looks like a creep.
You're being a little judgy.
Yeah, a little judgy.
Yeah.
Who are you to judge what species I fuck?
You think he looks a little creepy? I don't know.
I think he does.
He's a dog lover.
Oh. It's a little reassuring to see these pictures and see them as, deranged lunatics and all disheveled and everything. Because, if it was just a normal-looking guy, that would be creepier. If it was just like, this is Tim Stevie's, and he's got, just a nice smile on, maybe a golf shirt. That would be awful. And I'd be assuming everyone around me. Man, a lot of bestiality on the show today.
Yeah. If you go to
Oh, Jesus God.
That's from the Florida Man subreddit. A lot of weird stuff there. A lot of weird stuff going on in Florida.
Oh, so that's why they've all been from Florida. You're pulling it from there.
Yes. Yeah, that's from the Florida Man subreddit.
This costume of yours looks the most uncomfortable of all the ones so far.
By far.
Yeah.
Dude,
Is there a lot of ventilation? Are you cool?
Wait a second. There's something crawling. I think I felt something crawling around in there. This thing's been sitting in a room for months. Not since Jeremy wore it in the FPS boot camp.
Well, yeah, it'd be weirder if you broke it out more often than that. It is an ape suit.
I mean, if I were wearing this suit and I had sex with a woman, would you be at all confused about whether I was an actual gorilla or just a dude in a suit? I mean, come on. I just don't understand how somebody can get confused about that and it would go to court.
It's the headphones that would clue me in, because the suit itself is very realistic.
There are gloves somewhere. I couldn't find them. Feet too. I couldn't find that either.
Oh, your hammer toes. You don't even need the special feet with your hairy feet. It just blends right into the rest of the costume.
They're not even that hairy.
They are.
No, they're hairy feet.
It's like trying to see if. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. A little bit of that.
It's just a little tuft. Tuft of toe hair.
Yeah, I style it. Put a little gel in there, spike it up sometimes, whatever.
Twist it around to get it nice.
Yeah.
Alpha.
Yeah. One of these. Give it one of these. Like a. I use fancy mustache wax for it.
Fancy mustache wax.
Fancy mustache. Well, I mean, it's not fancy. It's not fancy mustache wax. It's fancy mustache wax. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that made sense.
It's true.
I'm looking for this particular video. I once did a run, like a 5K. It was a little more than 5K, I think. It was 4 miles. And have you guys ever heard of the Krispy Kreme challenge?
No.
It's like you eat a bunch of them, then try and run a 5K, right?
You're close. You run out halfway, you eat a dozen donuts, and then you run back. And it was tough for me. Like for me, a 4-mile run, I'm not a very good runner, is damn good exercise. And I handled the first 2 miles just fine. I think I would have even handled the next 2 miles just fine had I not taken a break. Like if I had just started gliding. But somehow running 2 miles, stopping for like 20 minutes to eat donuts, and then running 2 miles the way back was like suddenly I wasn't a runner anymore. Like I started one. And but the thing is, on the way back, it was a nightmare, right? People are vomiting all over the place. You have to watch your step. It's like, you know how some people's house, including mine, have that like dog area where you need to look down? That's how this was with donut vomit. Like any given step, you could be treading donut vomit. And it's not a serious, well, some people took it seriously, but 95% of the crowd were just out there goofing around. We're not competitive runners, etc. What did we wear? I think we all wore shirt and ties. Like me and my friends all wore shirt and ties and like matched. But other people were there in like gorilla suits and stuff like that. And I'm out there running and I'm like, I sound like a porn, like just like doing my best to keep pace. And a gorilla comes gliding by. And I'm like, motherfucker, that guy, it must be 200 degrees in that fucking big gorilla suit. He's
so hot.
baking.
I'm dying right now.
Yeah.
I still got the pants on. I'm going to have to take them off. They're so goddamn hot.
What kind of donuts did they make you eat? Did you get your own choice or just the standard?
I want to say they were all glazed. That was like every donut was glazed. And, there were people carrying flags and stuff. But when I got passed by that guy in the gorilla costume, it was like, who is that masked man? Like, how did he, how is he so much better at running than me? It's insane. And he was just floating by, as if uphill too, he caught me on an incline and he just, whatever. People in gorilla suits, apparently they can run based on my sample size of 1. And I saw Kyle.
100% of people in gorilla suits you've seen in a race have done well.
That's right.
So
I don't think I'd be very fast in that. That thing is hot. And I remember Jeremy really complaining a lot. He had to wear it all day. That was great. Seems like, my cousin Scott, we put him in a bear costume one time, and it was like a little legit 100 degrees that day, and he was out there dancing. I got the video. It's actually pretty funny. Let's see. Yeah, he's doing this whole like Russian dance dressed as the bear. It's great.
I don't know if I'll be able to find this video. PKA Dan ran it with me, if you guys remember him. And I think he uploaded the video.
That's something that I would never do.
Oh, Jenna Marbles did something called the Dunkin' Donuts Challenge 4 years ago. It's probably the same thing.
Yeah. It's probably even worse with Dunkin' Donuts. They're a little bit of a girthier donut over there. Probably, I don't know.
Okay.
I'll go with it.
Because Krispy Kremes are pretty small.
So skip to about 1 minute and 20 seconds, I think.
Blowing shit up with FPS Russia.
120, you say?
Yeah, 120 will get it done. That's my cousin.
The drunk, such a powerful machine gun. We traveled back to Mother Russia today to handle a very serious problem we have here. The drunk Russian bear. They sneak into the village, they drink the vodka, and they cause problems for everyone. Eating children, eating goats.
Oh, that's an awful bear suit.
With the
Looks like it's made out of like the leftovers on a barbershop floor.
What does your t-shirt say?
Mine or his?
Yours.
Step 1. You have to lure the bear from the woods. If we were in America,
I hear voices in my head, but they speak Russian.
But here, on vodka. The cheapest vodka you can get your hands on. This is a little bit from my personal stash, but...
he was so hot in there. I remember every time he'd take the head off, his face was just red and drenched in sweat.
Was he adequately compensated for his heat stroke?
Absolutely not.
He gets to keep the vodka?
That was not vodka. Well, it was. We poured it out. And added water.
very dangerous.
But yeah, that was a rough
I want
day.
to see you shoot him. Do you eventually shoot him?
Yeah. 235.
I like the fact that he has shorts on and you're playing like the gypsy wedding dance song from Snatch.
Thank
See
you.
what we can do.
Oh, Jesus. All right.
I have a really similar setup to what I'm shooting in that video now
Be sure.
for my own.
Oh.
Yeah, that was fun.
I don't know why, but I expected a better bear suit than that. That was
Yeah,
That's
what
that?
that's what G4 showed up with. I don't know anything.
a bear suit halter top. Like, didn't even go down to his belly button hardly. He's got a visible T-shirt on under it.
Shorts. Yeah, shorts. The whole thing. I don't know what went on with that. That's what G4 showed up with. And that's what he wearing. It was funny. Like one of those. I was filming another thing with them, and these propane tank like rocketed off and headed toward the cameraman and myself. And I didn't flinch, but the cameraman got scared shitless. Like he fell backwards and stuff. And like 2 years later. 2 years later, I was talking to some cameramen from Atlanta, and they mentioned, they were like, yeah, my buddy Rick came and worked with you one time a few years ago. He said he almost died. I was like, yeah, Rick almost did. It was hilarious.
Oh, was he the guy that almost got clipped by the...
Yeah, it was the guy that almost got hit by the
By that
propane
door?
tank. No, the propane tank.
Oh, the tank.
Yeah.
Sorry, when you started that story, you buzzed out for me.
Oh, shit. That's annoying.
Yeah. It's also annoying, like, thinking of something kind of clever to say, and then saying it and hearing you guys hear it, like, 7 seconds after the fact, when it's just right in the middle of another thing.
Yeah, people wonder, like you know, sometimes I've heard people say, like, well, they use that Patreon money to get better internet connections. Really? Like, you think that's it? You think that we just chose the cheapest internet options based on, like, how we use it? No, it's the best available.
Yeah. If I could get better internet, I wouldn't need Patreon money to do it. And Patreon money probably wouldn't get it paid for anyway.
Yeah, it's
It's the best I can get.
It's
I've got two lines. They're $250 a month. It's like 14 by 2. That's as good as it gets here.
$250 a month for each, or for put together?
I think it's each.
Jesus. For 14 by 2?
Maybe it's $200 a month. It comes to like $400 or $500 a month for my internet. Yeah.
That's no joke.
No. And it's spotty service too. That's the best part. Like squirrels on all the lines, and like it'll rain too much. I'm like, it rained too much. I'm like, that's a thing. You don't plan for rain.
Shouldn't it be
like,
watertight?
Like I could imagine if a magnetic storm came and disrupted my connection, I'd understand. You don't plan for magnetic storms, but when rain comes, like you better be able to handle that because it's coming again.
Who could have predicted that it would be raining?
Yeah, there's going to be rain next year, too, I promise. I guarantee. Probably rain this week.
Or if not, then probably next week. You probably won't go 10 days without rain where you are.
No.
Yeah, but rainy days are a great time to not have TV, internet, anything like that.
Do you see my problem now? Like, that's
Yeah.
exactly how it goes. And also, there was a long period of time where, like, every night at, like, 8 or 9 p.m., it would just stop working until 5 a.m. It was like... have third shift anymore. It was bullshit. And I was like, I stay up late. And I went to the place and I'm like, look, the internet stops working every night at like 8 or 9 p.m. And it does. And they're like, so it gets spotty? Or I was like, no, it doesn't fucking work. And then it's the next day before it does work again. I'm like, I'm missing like half my service. I was like, I don't want to pay for 100% of the internet if I only get it half the time. This is bullshit.
So describe your next house, Kyle. I'm really curious. What are you looking for? A little simple pleasures cabin on an imaginary lake?
I really don't know what I want to do. I don't know. I really don't. Probably something like that. I like the cabin. I like how it looks, and it's cheap. And I feel like I could build something pretty cool that I would like, and have like a little bachelor pad for a while. I'd like that. I'm not sure though. I don't know where I want it. That's the main thing. Is like where I'm gonna be, because I gotta have good internet the next time. Like that's a mandatory thing. I want good internet. I've experienced it before. I was talking to a girl who's in LA the other day, and she pays barely anything, and she had like 100 by 50 or something stupid like that, and she was, that's ridiculous. Like I want something like that, or at least somewhere approximate to it, like at least same league. So I'm gonna make that a priority. I don't know what kind of house. I got no clue. I like to be.
Is the lot important? Or you just need access to your father's, or what are you thinking about that?
Yeah, the lot's not that important. I don't want to have neighbors per se. I'd rather be stuck in the woods. I like my privacy. I like being stuck away from people and I like having a long driveway that goes into the woods or into some trees, so you can't see my house from the driveway.
Where I live, that and good internet are like contrasting forces.
They are in many places, so it's hard to find what I want. I've kind of got it now. I just don't have the great internet. If I had internet here, I'd be pretty happy. But I don't know what I'm gonna do next time around. I really don't. I've been thinking about it. It just depends. Depends how much money I've got available at the time next year too. Just not sure.
Just wondering. I don't know. I'm all selling. Maybe other people don't care, but to me, like, house talk is fascinating. Tell me about your house hunting adventures that aren't even starting for a year. Yeah. So, trying to think. So I'm not gonna find that. That Krispy Kreme video. I think it's just too buried in the depths of YouTube. If I ever do find it, then I'll share it.
Oh, that's the one where they're racing, eating the donuts?
Yeah, racing and eating donuts, and then we get passed by a guy in a gorilla suit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So I've got another question.
Okay.
It's for a topic change. What do you have a Pavlovian response to?
Are we talking about literally, like what makes our mouths water, or
broader than that? Like, what do you have an instinctive response to that maybe other people don't? You know what? I get jumpy and stressed over text messages. It has been, yeah. So I used to carry a pager at work, and every time I got paged, something like bad was happening. Like every page is bad. No one paged me with good news. That wasn't a thing, and I would have to solve it. And oftentimes, like, they don't have everyone carrying a pager, so I'm usually solving things that are outside my like expertise and zone. Like I have to figure out how your thing works and fix it for you because I'm on pager. And yeah, even today when I get like a text message or something, I get unreasonably jumpy and stressed. And it's just Jackie asking what I want to eat or something, but I have a Pavlovian response to getting text or paged or something. I don't like it. And I sit here and I go through all the tones on my phone and try and find the least stressful like chirp, like it's okay. That should be my text thing.
Yeah, my heart races. I get like a surge of adrenaline. It's not a pleasant feeling.
No, it's not good at all. My daughter has the coolest.
Both of you?
What?
Text message too? That's what you're talking about, Kyle? Yeah. Getting uncomfortable with that? Huh.
Yeah, I don't like text messages. I mean, I get them all the time, and I guess I like them in a way because otherwise it's like a 10-minute phone call.
I also have this like obsessive compulsive thing where like I can't leave like them open. Like I gotta check them. Like if I could be like upstairs and I could hear my Skype chirp in the basement, I'm like, fuck. All right, let's go see what it is. Can't leave that orange number up there down there. There's gonna be an orange number 1, and I'm not gonna be there to see it. Gotta take care of that. So. And the same thing's with my phone. Like, there's never a time when I look at my phone and it's like, 3 unread messages when I wouldn't be like, all right, let's see what's up. What are these? Like, I gotta know. I can't, you'll see my eyes like dart down in the show sometimes, and it's because I can't deal with it. I gotta know what's up over there. And part of it is like, I've said, and I've told people this before. I'm like a girl had a missed call from her mom, and she was like, call her back tomorrow. And in my head, I was like, but what if there's something wrong? What if your mom's like stranded on the side of the road somewhere, and then like you were her last call and her battery's gonna die? Like what if it's that? And she's like, holy shit, what if it is that? I'm like, yeah, right. Like you gotta reply back. Like my mom called me the other day, dead battery in a parking lot somewhere. She needed some help. You gotta answer, or at least you gotta check back. It would worry me if like I got a text or a call from someone that was missed and I didn't know what was up.
Yeah.
Marker, you got one?
God, I'm trying to think of one, and I really can't think of a good one.
I got lots of food ones. Like
yeah, I'm trying to think of something outside of realm of food.
Like if I like pickles. Pickles definitely make my mouth water.
I feel like I almost want to retch when I see a bunch of mayo on something.
Really?
Yeah, I hate mayonnaise.
I like it.
Hate it.
I wouldn't go so far as to eat it with a spoon, but almost.
Ugh, Jesus. Yeah, and
I would
I'm not just
definitely
gonna be saying foods I don't like. That's not the real question.
I would definitely like slather it on a sandwich, like a ham or a turkey sandwich, or really, I like it on burgers too. Like that's what I like on hamburgers. I like mustard and mayo, and
Oh, I don't like mustard either. Mustard is like when you put it on anything, you're changing all of the flavor compounds in there to mustard. Oh, there's some barbecue sauce on there and some onions. Not anymore. You have different, textures and varieties of mustard flavored shit. It's all mustard now. Ruined.
I like mustard, mayo, pickles, lettuce, and cheese, and maybe bacon.
Just maybe on
Maybe
bacon?
some relish. Huh?
Bacon's
I'm
overrated,
not-
isn't it? God.
Bacon's overrated. Bacon's not that great. It's pretty good, but it's not the best.
But it is very good on burgers, which is what we're talking about. I think it is.
It's pretty good. Like when I go to Five Guys, I usually get bacon.
I'll get mushrooms at Five Guys with some.
My mouth just started watering because of Five Guys.
Oh.
I know that.
Yeah, mine
Five
too.
Guys
Actually,
is so
there's a
fucking
good one.
Yeah, Five Guys is so fucking good. You order a regular French fry and they give you like a cup full of French fries and then they just throw another scoop in the bag, just like fuck it, two. like the thing they legitimately give you 2 orders of fries and one of them is just poured in the bag.
They give you way too many.
Yeah, and they're hand cut fries like every day. I don't think the meat is frozen. I might probably wrong about that. But the meat's really good too, and they make really fucking good hamburgers. They're so good, and they're melty, and the cheese is all melty, and it's greasy, and
Ooh. It's great hangover food.
mouth is still watering. Just really, I want that. I'm probably gonna get one of those burgers tomorrow. Probably gonna do that.
Thinking about Buffalo Wild Wings makes me salivate.
Overrated, I think. At least the one in Chicago wasn't as good as they made it out to be.
You just had to have a few more drinks, and you would have enjoyed it, Woody. I remember those wings being. Actually, I remember them being good until I didn't understand what we were doing it. So there were a bunch of them sitting around this table. And we ordered like a bunch of everything. Like we ordered like 100 wings, and like I guess they made like 10 of every flavor. Probably more than 100. Probably 150, 200.
It was a fuck ton of wings there.
It was a fuck ton of wings, and there were many small plates of wings that were just circulating around the table counterclockwise. And you took your fork and you got 1 or 2, and you put it on your plate. And the idea was everybody got a little bit of every flavor or whatever.
Family style.
I was starving. I was so fucking hungry that I wasn't even going to my plate with them. I was stabbing them with a fork, eating them, and then getting another one and eating that one, and then the next plate would come around and I'd eat that too. And I'd eaten about 6, and they were boneless wings. And I'd eaten about 6, and then I got to the next tray, and it turned out they were like the spiciest ones. And I don't know if they do this everywhere in the world, but in America, like the spiciest flavor hot wing at a hot wing place is poison. It's like they make it so fucking hot that they have challenges. I think Buffalo Wild Wings.
I don't remember what it was called.
It's either 5 of them or 10 of them that you have to eat, and that's a challenge. Well, I ate 2 back to back, just like nom 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 nom, and then the next one came around, and I was like, oh god, and it took me like half an hour to recover from those 2. It was awful.
Dude, it took you longer than that. I remember you were like, you had a sad look on your face, and it was the 3rd hottest flavor. I know because I suggested it to you. I'm like, dude, try not to do it. It's kind of spicy. And you were like, oh, mango habanero, that sounds mango, not too bad. You ate it, had one from the next thing, and you were like, that wasn't too bad. Like, maybe 30 seconds later, like, whoo, whoo, whoo. And then you had that look on your face. You were like, the whole meal's ruined. Why would you give me that?
The whole like, it was so bad. It was so bad. It ruined my appetite. Like it was so hot that I was no longer hungry. Like I was now just like in pain. Like the hunger part was over. I no longer wanted food. I wanted to make the pain stop. And even my stomach hurt. Like I could feel burning in my stomach that felt different than regular heartburn. Like this thing was down there in the bottom like a hot coal, like dissolving stomach material away. It was so bad. And if you say that's
sprayed his intestines.
That was mango habanero, the 3rd hottest. The blazing one I don't think we got because that's ludicrous. It's not even tasty.
Yeah, I really don't get how people eat stuff that spicy. I think I think you've got to have a really dull palate to be able to tolerate it, honestly.
Turn
well,
that
people
around,
who were
huh?
coal miners back in the day would only eat spicy foods and whatnot because they're like.
You stole that from Seth MacFarlane.
Is it
Oh
true?
yeah. Well, we watched that movie, so
Yeah.
I looked it up afterward.
Was it
It
true?
It could not be. I didn't look very hard.
PKA.
Let me enter this in Google and see if there was another reference to this that was existent before this movie.
Yeah, that's usually all the confirmation I get.
Yep.
Shows up twice. Must be true.
Yep, absolutely.
Trying to think. More topics?
I'm running dry.
Yeah,
I'm running dry as
we
well.
sort
I don't
of
want to
rolled through the
Yeah,
topics today.
That NASA rocket exploded today. That was pretty spectacular. But I mean, what are you gonna say? Like, yeah, but shoot another one. Marvel came out with a bunch of stuff. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, what did they do? Release their trailer in quality or something? And
I think that they had some sort of an event and they outlined their like 5-year plan.
oh, right.
And so they're going to do Black, and I could be wrong about some of this because I'm just going from like titles that I've grabbed, but it looks like they're going to do a Black Panther movie, who is the Black African superhero, and I think they're going to do a female version of Captain Marvel, and I saw something about the Serpent Society, who they're actually villains in the Marvel universe. It's like 4 or 5 guys who are all like snake people or something. It's pretty lame. There's a couple of different things. Let's see.
I'm outside my depth. I don't really know the Marvel universe that well
I
outside
have no idea.
outside the movies and stuff. Yeah, but I'm excited about it. You know, there's a chance to. I almost feel like a YouTube viewer. Like sometimes you're like, hey, do you guys, would you like it if I went to Russia and drank vodka with strangers? Yeah, Woody, do it. And why? Because I got nothing to lose. Like, I'm just sending you around the world at great expense and, discomfort and time but yeah, shucks, I'll watch it if or at least I'll commit to watching it, and I might or might not. But that's how I feel with Marvel. Like, we've announced a dozen $500 million movies. Oh, great. Well, I'll watch the trailer and see if I'm interested.
Yeah, I'm not like super psyched for any superhero movie really ever.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will be May 5th, 2017.
I liked that movie, and I love Chris Pratt, but I thought the movie was just good. Like, I don't think it was Avengers good.
Well, there's another one coming.
I think it was better than the Avengers insofar as like the suspension of disbelief. Like, you didn't have to try and like pretend that Black Widow was a valuable member of the team and that the bow and arrow was somehow pertinent to anything. Like, it was known that, like, Groot, that guy's just a big, goofy fucking ant. And, like, there's the, tattooed up crazy guy. Like, it was all, like, they weren't taking themselves seriously. I thought it was just a fun movie.
To me, I felt like Groot's powers were inconsistent, right? Sometimes Groot is struggling in a fight against one guy, like the strong guy. Other times, I think I have this right, but other times he literally just, like, grow long fingers and kill, like, 14 people and then swing his arm and kill 14 more and swing to the left and kill all of a sudden like 30 people in a snap. And you're like, whoa. It's almost like watching Superman in a fight, right? Superman, he gets into these troubled situations where he's like crushed by a truck or whatever. And you're like, dude, your eyes melt shit. You could look across a sea of people and kill them all at once. Your breath is freezing cold. You run so fast you can reverse the rotation of the earth. You can change time. And, like, you just seem to, like, forget half your powers half the time. Yeah. I felt like Groot had a touch of that.
He can only do that time thing the one time when Lois Lane died. He had to.
Why only once? He could do it whenever he wants, right?
No, it was his anger that fueled him to that incredible speed.
Bullshit.
That was. I don't know if that's canon anyway. I don't know if that was in the comics. I don't count it if it was. Because Christopher Reeve's movies sucked. Christopher Reeves was not a good actor. It wasn't a great Superman. I don't know. I don't get what the big fucking deal. He's weird looking too, before and after the accident.
Well, he didn't really make him look any weirder after the accident.
That right?
I can't really get on board with your dead celebrity bashing. I think dead celebrity bashing is distasteful, and I want no part of it.
I'm just saying, I didn't think he was a good actor. I didn't think he was good for that part. I didn't any of it. People are like, yeah, Christopher Reeves ruined Superman because he just such a powerful performance. No, I didn't. Like, pretty lame. Like, you guys cling on to him because he had that terrible accident and everything, and then lingered for years there afterwards. But
I haven't seen his Supermans, but I've never heard people rave about him.
you're not missing much. They're
I feel
okay.
like, you know how Quigley Down Under was a little too Disney. It wasn't dark enough. The main character was too goody two shoes.
Mm-hmm.
That was the Superman era that Christopher Reeves played in. I think Christopher Reeves was actually a pretty good Superman. He was. I think he was good looking. I thought he was like sort of powerful and like to me he is the best Superman ever. But the movies existed in that Quigley Down Under time period where I like the slightly dirtier Superman that the more recent one was, the reboot, the darker version.
There were dark movies back then. They could have made a dark Superman. It just wasn't in the cards because it was a kid. It's more of a family movie. It's a kids movie. You know, you got Richard Pryor swinging in like episode 3 or something like that. It's
Probably
silly.
coked up at the time.
Yeah, he always twist. You got Gene Hackman in there, probably doing coke with him as
sillier
Lex Luthor.
movies were popular at the time, and but so the reason I the reason I don't love the old Supermans is because they weren't dark enough, not because I thought. He did all dead celebrity jokes aside. I thought Christopher Reeves did a good job as Superman.
I disagree, but I don't think that the new Superman is very good either. I think he's a terrible actor, and I think that they made the big deal out of him killing General Zod at the end, breaking his neck before he could Ray-eye that family. But I mean, how many? They did. He was there for nearly $1 trillion worth of damage to Metropolis and Smallville. Like, God knows how many. Probably 1 million people died. Like, and this family is the one where like you've got to snap his neck and be like, no. If you'd have snapped his neck half an hour ago, like 500,000 people would still be alive. But now when it's these 4 right here with the camera zoomed in on them, that was lame. I didn't buy that.
I love that he killed him. I
love that he killed him too. He
Yeah.
should have killed him, but It wasn't because he had let so much other mayhem go down.
The destruction in that city was ridiculous. The destruction in the last Avengers scene was pretty insane. And if I remember right, the Superman scene blew it away.
Yeah, they had that machine, that gravity thing that was like choom. Like it lifted everything up and then slammed it down and like repeated the process. It was hardcore. They were literally leveling the city.
Yeah.
I liked the special effects. I guess I liked Superman, but I felt like they didn't do a very good job with it. I didn't feel like Superman is a good actor, whoever that guy is. He's got the look for it for sure, but I think he's pretty stale.
But Superman is a little stale, right?
They hadn't figured out their own. All you gotta do is put a good actor in there to make him charismatic, to make him like smile and yeah, I'm here to do this, and make him a smartass. Like you could totally get somebody in there that could do that. Like, but what I was thinking is, the actors. Like he was a bad actor. The rest of the actors were okay. The whole idea that Lois Lane is always there somehow, like getting she's on the plane that has the weapon in it, like putting the key in it. She's surviving the ice out there all night, laying in the Antarctic or wherever they were. Like, she's constant, like, General Zod is like, oh, and bring that woman. She's important to the plot. like, I remember her from earlier. Yes, more of her. Like, it made no sense for him to want her on the ship. It was insane. This alien is interested in her? Why? Because she's the co-star of the movie. That's why. And I was just like, no, just cut fucking Lois Lane out. He'll get back to her after he saves the world. She doesn't need to be here. And then they had this whole thing. It seems like they didn't even understand their own message. They had this disparity between Russell Crowe's message to his son and Kevin Costner's message to his adopted son. They both had these opposing ideas, and I didn't like it that much. I enjoyed the spectacle of it and watching everything go down and seeing that character on screen in all of his glory with modern special effects. That was great. I loved watching him fly, but I didn't like the story, and it was another General Zod story. It was like there's so many good Superman villains that you can bring out that are equally strong to Superman, or at least 95% as strong as Superman. That would make for some great movie watching stuff. But they don't. They always want to do that origin story, and I just find that to be so lame.
Well, it's part of the reboot, right? The next
I don't
one
think
won't
you
be
have
that.
to. I don't think it had to be. I think you could have accomplished it with flashbacks. Like you could have. You didn't have to start off on Krypton. You could have started off with like an old fucking Superman that's 50, or looks 50 and is actually 200, or however you want to do it. I'd like to see a different story about Superman where he's dealing with some different stuff. Like have him deal with Brainiac. Like anything. I just
I
don't.
don't want to see Lex Luthor or General Zod.
No, but that's who's in the next one. Lex Luthor's in the next one. Superman versus Batman. He's present in there. Like they've already. Jesse Eisner, is that who's playing him?
I don't know, but I'm so disappointed. Like Lex Luthor, really, you're bringing out this cliched bullshit? Come on, do something different. Mixed universes, or come up with a new character or some lesser known character. Who's Bizarro Superman? I forget his name.
Man.
Was it Bizarro Superman? There's plenty of things you can do. There's the whole DC universe at your fingertips, and you have to go against the main characters again. It's lame and tired. Let's do something that's not tired.
Yeah, there's Bizarro, Superman, Brainiac that I said before. There's a couple of there's Darkseid, Doomsday, General Zod. I can't think of any of the other ones, but there's a lot of them. The Darkseid and Doomsday in particular are awesome villains. Doomsday killed Superman in an episode.
I think it'd be fun to end the movie with the dead Superman.
Yeah, and
That'd make a
yeah.
statement.
Yeah, it would. And that's totally how it would have to be done too, because like that thing's presented kind of in two parts almost. Like there's a cartoon of it, and there's also comics. But like he fights him and is literally beaten to death. Like this thing like has like spikes growing out of his knuckles. Like he's insane. It was like he was in this containment shell that like locked inside of it, and it crashed to Earth, and they opened it up and he came out, and it's just like it's just a monster that can't really be killed, and he beats Superman to death. That would be a good movie. Let Superman die and then be like Part 2, May 2018. Like do that.
I would like that. Yeah, I don't know, just change it up.
Maybe they'll do. I wouldn't be surprised if they follow that storyline eventually when they start doing the whole DC universe with the Justice League and everything, and do it that way. Like maybe have Superman die in a Justice League movie. You could do it then. You could have Superman die in a Justice League movie or in some sort of like Superman Wonder Woman crossover. They're talking about DC is doing the same thing as Marvel. Or they're trying to. They're trying to start their own little universe. Well, they've already got their own little universe, but they're trying to put it on screen with all their big characters.
I think Superman's a solid movie that they have that to build on. The Dark Knight stuff is as good as it gets. I think the Dark Knight movies are typically as good as Guardians of the Galaxy or anything Marvel puts out. The Batman stuff is first class. That's all I'm saying. It might have peaked with Heath Ledger's Joker, but it's still really good. And yeah, they got something to build on there.
Yeah, I would watch the Flash movie. I would watch a good Green Lantern movie. I didn't care for the last one at all. It was pretty lame.
No kidding.
And who else? Oh, Wonder Woman. I'm interested in a Wonder Woman movie because Wonder Woman is super strong. Like some people aren't too familiar with her powers. She's Superman Jr. Like she's very fucking strong, and she's got the lasso that makes people tell the truth, and she's got these wristbands that are like super indestructible and a fucking sword.
She was on a TV show when I was a kid, and she was lame in it.
Yeah.
Like basically all she could do was deflect bullets, and otherwise she was just a semi-athletic girl.
Mm-hmm.
And she had a lasso and a jet, but I don't know. I have good transportation, and I can make people tell the truth.
Regular people have lassos and jets.
I know, I have access to jets. I just buy a ticket. Like, it doesn't make me a superhero.
Hers is invisible.
I get that, but really, visibility is not a problem I have when I take jets places. Like,
You're not a superhero.
I guess, but I mean, like, if she was traveling on a regular jet, I don't know. Maybe people would find her in the air. I'm not sure, but I've never had a need or a desire for an invisible jet. Hell, I don't want an invisible car. Never find that shit. I'd probably come up with a system, like pylon or something. You guys want to call it a wrap?
I think so.
Yeah.
Wild card.
I definitely enjoyed this episode. Halloween was
Yeah.
fun.
Halloween
A very
episode.
spooky episode for you.
Yeah. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah.
All right.
Enjoy your candy.